This is the best possible start to Crimson Desert. I'm going to teach you how to min-max your mobility early on so you can move around the map as fast as possible. We're going to get rich early on with a big investment, and then we are going to be doing some very optimal early game farming that will allow us to get easy mode upgraded gear, and we're going to snooze through a lot of fights. Let's get right into it. Just a quick disclaimer, I am playing on the PC version, and we will be using PC mouse and keyboard controls. No other guide I could find has done this. I'm going to be the first, okay? And if you want to know what button is left click to your Xbox or PlayStation controller, I'm going to show you my options menu, and this is the only chance you'll get to look at it. But for the entire video, I'm going to be referencing my controls as mouse and keyboard controls. Before we begin, I'm going to show you all of my settings. You can copy them if you want. Most of these are just my default. I have everything ultra. Audio is whatever. Now, input, I'm going to show you a few things here, okay? Or not input, it's the controls, which we don't have access to until we start a new game. But I'm going to go ahead and show you them now. Now, you have to play the game a little bit, but you'll eventually get to shortcuts and input settings. I know that controller players cannot rebind, but us keyboard and mouse players can. I want to show you all of the different things that I have rebound. Now, if you've never played and you don't know what any of this stuff is, you can skip this for now and come back to it later. And if you're a console player, you can reference this anytime you're confused about what buttons I am pushing. So I want to start with the evade button. Now I have this on, it's technically bound to middle click as you can see here, but I have a third-party program on my computer that rebinds my middle click to my left thumb mouse button. This is mainly for web browsing and video editing, so I can, do that quickly, but essentially I'm using one of my side mouse buttons for evade, not middle click, though it is showing middle click, okay? For guard, I am using the Alt key. This lets me walk in all directions, and it's right next to spacebar. It's very easy to tap it when I need to do a perfect guard. Aim is control, because on my keyboard, my control button is broken, and I have trouble hitting the control button due to my weird hands. So you don't use the bow that much early game. Late game, you just slow down time. You have infinite time to shoot 10 to 20 explosive arrows or poison arrows. And it's not a very important, I need to hit this button accurately and constantly. It's a rarely used button, so it's on control. Force palm is on V. Now, this is mainly so that I'm not accidentally using it on all of the other buttons, because the defaults, it's like defaulted to, I think, Q or something, and you end up using force palm when you want to be using blinding flash. And so I changed that around. I mainly just use force palm either to debuff an enemy boss or to triple jump. All right, but blinding flash, now normally this is like a combination of buttons, but we use this constantly in combat to the point where it doesn't make sense to be a two-button bind. It needs to be a single-button bind. Now, the focus skill blind flash, that is when you use the laser beam to like burn things or to solve puzzles. It's very rarely used in most parts of the game, so it's a faraway button on the keyboard. Imbue element is V plus left click. This is subject to change, but you have to have everything bound for it to save your options. And, V is normally force palm, but V and left click at the same time. Hey, you've imbued elements, there you go. Now, I've rebound flame to 5. This is normally on number 1, but number 1... I'm used to MMORPGs, and my potion button is 1, and food quick slot is 1, because having it on F2 is stupid. Previous, you have to bind that to something because I have my other keys bound, so I just put it on K. The game still lets me use Q and E for previous and next anyway, so this is a pointless bind, but you have to bind it to something to save the settings. When the game starts, you'll be in your camp with your bros. Now, I just want to point out there is nothing here to do to get you ahead. There is nothing you can do at all at this point in the game to like get extra items or get ahead quickly. So just proceed as the game tells you as normal. I'm not going to hold your hand. Follow the marker on the left side of your radar there. And yeah, if you try to just randomly go off and explore, the game won't let you. It'll just teleport you back and make you do the quest steps again. Also, no matter how good you do in the fight, the game won't let you beat Mirrodin. Even if you get him down low, this still plays out. It does not matter what you do. Alright, so the very first puzzle that some people get stuck on is this one. The description is wrong about the controls. So you hold, for me, I'm holding Q, I'm going to hold L, and I'm going to point it at the orb until it turns blue and cranks. And that's how you open it. I have seen so many streamers that were just stuck on this, so I'm putting it in the video. Alright, you've finally reached the open world. Alright, but you're not entirely free to explore just yet. So, as soon as you can, what you want to do is you want to look at the fisherman once you follow this guy up to the cabin. Anyway, the game teaches you can hold shift to auto-follow him, but we don't want to do that. We want to get near the fisherman, and we want to watch him. Now, one thing that you need to learn in this game is if you see other characters doing anything out of the ordinary, if characters are standing around doing nothing, don't worry about them. If they are doing something like backflips or spin kicks, or they're like attacking each other in practice, walk up to them and the game might let you copy their abilities. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the fishermen here, and you're going to get a prompt that you can, observe or learn from them. But you have to follow the man up the path first. We'll come back and then learn how to fish. So, there's a fight here, and you may be thinking, hey, what if I handle this non-violently, like with fists? Will it change the course of the game? And I'm going to tell you, Crimson Desert is not one of those types of games. These are just bad guys, they're bandits, you just kill them, it doesn't matter. There is no, oh, you killed my son later in the game, how dare you? There is no non-lethal in this game, you just murder them. Also, normally when you kill bandits, they can be looted. However, in this case, there isn't. Now, what we're going to do is, instead of following the man, we are going to actually backtrack here. And right here at this first little area, there is a piece of meat. And I don't know why there's just meat on a log. It's kind of gross. But there is an axe. You can take this if you want to use the axe. However, not using sword and board in this game will insanely hinder and limit your movement. You won't have as much damage per second, or DPS, but you will have way more movement if you stick to sword and shield. But I'm going to go ahead and take the axe because it does help your DPS. Now, again, we're going to run back to these fishermen, and we're just going to observe them. So, if we stand near this guy fishing, well, we don't want to point a bow at them. That'll make them scared, okay? My control button is the observation button also. So you'll notice I'm staring at the fisherman. There's a reticule on him, and you'll see in the bottom right it says observe fishing. So we're going to hold the control button, and this takes a little bit of time to load, and there we go. Now our character knows how to fish. Now obviously we need a fishing rod to fish, but I'm also going to tell you right now, using a fishing rod to fish is a fool's errand, because there's way better ways to fish in this game. If you just swim in the water, especially shallow water like this, like right now, you can't really do it, but if you use the lantern, you can see the fish that are swimming in the water right now, there is none. And I know some good spots, but you can just walk around the water and hold your loot button and just pull up the fish out of the water with your hands, and you will save a whole lot of time. I'm going to be demonstrating this later on in the video. Another thing that's not very important to the gameplay, but if you are like a collector or you have to 100% the game, you have to touch every little critter you see. See how it says question marks on the little pug here? If we go ahead and pet him, I'm pretty sure this is a pug. So we're going to go ahead and pet him if you'll stand still. There we go. And then once we do that, it'll give us its name, Floppy-Eared Bulldog. Okay, well, I was wrong. Whatever. But there's a way to get companions, and they suck. They are absolute garbage. They're not worth doing. I'll also teach you that later in the video, but for now we're going to follow the path and go to town. Also, I know you're curious because this is the open world, and you probably want to go in here and loot stuff, okay? The door's locked. There is a way to get a key. If you go kill the fisherman, they have a chance to drop a key, which will open that door. But the loot inside does not work, and we don't have a way to steal it yet. So there is ore in a chest in there, but you can come back later and get it. The game doesn't have it rendered yet because we're not technically we're not started yet. Now, while you're doing this quest, we're going to sequence break just a bit here. When you get to the start of the bridge, you'll be on a horse, you're following the quest guy, and you're going across the bridge. He's like, look at that beautiful view. I want you to dismount here at the bridge and turn to the right. You're going to see a waterfall, and we're going to go kind of along this route. There's a few things I need to show you. We're going to jump down here, and don't worry, it's not too crazy. Alright, yeah, you might take some damage, it's fine. Now, first off, I want to point out a resource. Okay, there's the waterfall. We are facing northwest. If you turn around, this is a wall of bismuth, okay? If I'm saying that correctly. You cannot mine this until you get lightning magic, but I want you to just take note. Right here at the Wycliffe Mappery, it's right above it. You can see Three Saints Falls, it's right there. All of the interactive maps that are currently up as of the making of this video, all the YouTubers have missed this, okay? It's a very good bismuth source. But there's even more good sources along the way, okay? We're going to kind of go along the ridge here. Now, this is a really good source of pine mushroom, alright? So, I'm pretty sure this is pine mushroom. Yeah, pine mushroom. Mushrooms are pretty hard to find in the game, but there's a bunch of them right here, so grab away. Not right now. Don't loot any of this stuff. Or don't loot the mushrooms, okay? But we're going to continue forward here. Alright, towards, again, kind of the wall here. We're going to be climbing back up. So, there's one more thing that we're going to grab. It's not that important, and you can skip this if you don't really want it, but it is an upgrade. Alright, there we go. We're climbing up. And you'll notice here, again, we see more waterfalls. We're running towards the waterfalls. There's some animals, don't worry about those. But there's like a little cave thing, not really a cave, but like a little rock area here, and there's a statue. What we're going to do is we're going to walk up to it, and we're going to light the candles. So we're just going to hold E to turn on the candles. There we go. And then we light the other candle. And yeah, I kind of fell down there, but it's fine, it still works. And then some stuff's going to rumble and jumble, and you'll notice the statue is coming higher up out of the ground. And that's going to unlock a gate, and this is it's just a better sword. And every attack power point counts, okay? There we go. So we have our first treasure chest. And this item, again, this is just the Legionary's Gladius. And so, yeah, I'm kind of doing my menus bad. But if we go to inventory here, you can go to your Gladius and you can equip it. There you go. You can also hold the F2 button and you can change it here. You can also dual wield it with your other sword. And this is a DPS increase. But, you know, sword and board, I'm going to explain later. This is how you can massively increase your movement speed, and no other weapon combination really works. It kind of bugs out. It's kind of sad that it bugs out. But this will also reset the quest, so you have to go back and start the quest up again. Also, if you have trouble summoning your horse, just move around and keep mashing your H button, and you will eventually get it resummoned. It's not a big deal. So, there we go. Onward, and yes, I know you can climb up the ridge from the fisherman area and do it that way, but it's easier to show you where it is from, you know, the aerial view. Now, a few things I just want to talk about real quick is that the way this game works is it does not fully generate the entire world the way you would think it does. It generates it based on chapters. Since we are in chapter 1, if I were to run all the way over here and go to one of the in-game little areas where there's a lot of fighting going on, the enemies simply won't aggro me at all. And there's actually a helmet over here that lets you see enemies' health bars, kind of like an MMORPG. It's not very good, and it doesn't always work. But if you go there, you know, at like chapter whatever, whenever you're supposed to be over here, then everything's hostile to you, and it's a real pain in the butt to get. So you could technically, right now, you could run all the way over here and grab it, but it's silly. You'll just get it later, and it's not really good anyway. But what I'm also trying to say is there's lots of parts around the map, like down here, you get a camp later that your like team uses. But if you go there right now, it's just an open field. So all the things you would loot in that camp aren't available yet. And that's how a lot of the game is. There's just lots of parts of the game while it's a giant map, and you can technically run around to it. You're just not going to have, you know, you're just not going to be able to interact with everything yet. So the main important thing right now is to push the main story of the game, but we're going to do a few things first. So right now the game wants us to go to the tavern, which is really simple. We just follow the map marker down here to the red X. Pretty simple stuff. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is arm wrestle. So we're going to challenge the guy here, and it's really straightforward. You mash one button, and there's a quick time event to mash another button. You got this. You don't need a video for this. All right, pretty simple. I know there's a lot to do in the town, but we need a few more unlocks before we bother. We're going to go to the beggar now, which is right outside. The kids are bullying, and we're going to Now, you may be thinking, hey, I just won a coin, but I don't want to give it away. But here's the thing, you won 1 silver, which is 100 copper. Now we have 99 copper. We're going to make a lot of money, so don't worry about the money. You kind of have to do this. Now that the beggar has moved, we are going to use the trapdoor. Also, anytime you see a beggar in the streets, if you throw money at them, over time you build up reputation. So if you go around murdering, bullying, and stealing, you lose a lot of rep, but you can slowly get it back by just donating to the beggars. And it's 1 copper, so it's literally free. Alright, but you're going to go into the sewers now and talk to another NPC. Again, this area is very straightforward. There's really not a lot that I have to show you here. I hate that I can't jump down. And also, don't catch the rat. You don't need any rats, but just keep a note. If you need rats later for a recipe, they're down here in the sewer, okay? Don't loot all these random pots and pans and stuff. I know the inner loot goblin hoarder in you wants to pick everything up and take it, but don't. What's super important is keeping your inventory as clean as freaking possible. Like, we're going to be getting rid of these blackberries and meat we're going to be farming anyway. This axe I'm going to sell, but you can keep it if you want. We need a very, very tidy and empty inventory for things that we're going to do. And, yeah, there's different little traps. Like, you'll notice that there was a red line that kind of skirted across the screen. When you're in, like, dungeony areas like this, there will be booby traps, and so that's kind of a warning that you're about to get hit by a trap. There are spike traps, bear traps, fire traps, laser turrets. There's a whole bunch of different stuff in this game. And there's no real punishment. Like, this isn't a pit. This isn't a pit of death. It's just sewer water. And no, this game doesn't have a system where you smell bad or anything like that. Characters will, you know, they're going to say that you smell bad regardless of how you dress or how you look. This is not Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, on this table, there are 2 things that you want to take, and that is the jewelry box and the iron adorned storage. And the way these work is these are like little loot crates. Alright, so you're going to use the spacebar to open them, and you'll get a prize. And it's, look, we got a crude blue ring, which is pretty damn lucky. But it's random what you get, so if you get a, like, the ring doesn't do anything right now, but these can have money, these can have just random stuff in it, like I got small batteries, like whoop-de-doo. We're just gonna, yeah, there you go. We got batteries, which is not something we use for a very long time. But hey, that's the first time I've ever got batteries from that thing, ever. You might get something different, you might get money, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna change the course of the gameplay, okay? Alright, now we're gonna go talk to the child, and, yeah, these little green children, they're something, I tell you what. Alright, so the mission wants you to rescue the cat, which is fine, but we're not gonna do that just yet. We're gonna go up here to this bell tower, alright? And our mobility is a little limited, but just smash spacebar, you got it. Now, on the ledge, there is a polymer pill. This is basically like a self-res, like a combat res. You really only want to use them on boss fights because there's no real penalty for death in this game. But if you're about to beat a boss and it kills you, then you'd have to fight the boss all over again. So this is just a way to get back up and finish the boss off. But what we're going to do is you're going to ring the bell. And it can be kind of tricky to get the hitbox, but just ring it. And what this does, in any part of the game you see a bell tower with a bell and you ring it, it reveals the map of the zone. So you always want to do this. So now you can see that we have a good chunk of the map unveiled for us here. And yeah, if you click all, you can start to see the landmarks. Like down here is like a manor. Over here is something called Senia, Sanctums, whatever. But it's just important to be able to see all the buildings and see all of these little question marks. That's why we did it, because it's going to make following this guide a lot easier now. Also on the map, anytime you see this question mark, that means it's a fast travel point that you need to find. We'll get it in a bit. Anyway, with that done, the cat's going to be here on the roof just kind of chilling, so we'll just go grab it real quick. And if you hold E, it's a lot easier to catch it, rather than walking up to it and then holding E. Just hold E by default and then walk into it. That's how you catch animals much easier. After that, loot the pendant. There we go. And now we need to help distressed villagers by cleaning their chimney. Now, this one's a little bit further away. It's like right here on the X. The game automatically marks it for us for some reason, which I'm not really fond of, but that's just how it is. Also, don't get distracted by side quests. Like, as we go near this butcher area, there's a question mark. I know you want to pick up all these quests, We're going to be doing some of them, not all of them. A lot of them are a waste of time, or they just don't have good rewards. And you can do them all if you want, absolutely. You don't have to follow this guide 100%. But right now we're beelining things so we can get our movement in check. And once our movement, we've unlocked our movement abilities, traversing the map becomes incredibly fast. Alright, so now we have to clean the chimney, alright? So at first, a lot of people that I've seen, they think that this hole in the roof is the chimney because it's smoky. That is not the chimney, okay? But we got to equip the broom. We're going to hold F2. We're going to go to the gloves and then use mouse wheel to select the broom. Alright, and then we're going to climb on top of the actual chimney, which is right here. And yeah, there we go. And now we're going to clean it. Now to do this, you hold the Alt key, which my game is not letting me control. But you hold Alt and then you'll have the prompt left click to clean. So pretty simple. Now, if you noticed while you were cleaning the chimney, there was a polymer pill right behind the house, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of grab that real quick. Super important. Yoinkers, awesome. Now, it wants us to inspect the key, and so this is just teaching you inventory stuff. You're just going to go to your inventory. You're going to click the key over here, and then push the spacebar to examine. And then, there we go, we'll pull out the key, and oh boy, it's transforming. Now, something else that we need to do is go into your inventory, and by helping them clean your chimney, you got some clothes. So we're going to just push spacebar to equip the Hernandian attire. That's going to replace our armor for now. Don't sell or get rid of your armor. We're going to be upgrading it. Yes, you heard me. Now, the game wants us to go to the castle. We're not going to do that yet. We're actually, make sure on your map you click the all button over here. And what you want to do is, this is where the house was that we swept with the broom. I want you to go over here, and there's 2 question marks, and this is the back alley shop.
Give me a reason.
Alright, so we're going to walk up to this little shady-looking gremlin dude, and we are going to shop.
No one
there we
needs
go.
to know we were here.
Now, we're going to sell some things. We're going to sell our blackberries. We don't need them. We're going to sell the apples. We're going to sell the broom. We don't need it anymore either. And that axe, you can use the axe. I'm going to sell it because I don't need it. And there we go. That's going to give us 2.6 silver. We're going to go to buy.
So don't waste it.
And what we're going to do is we're going to buy 3 keys.
That was a fun
We're also going to buy a mask. This lets us steal. Masks are important for stealing, all right? So there we go. Now, everything else is pretty expensive right now, so we're not going to mess with that.
Chatter.
But there we go. And now, after doing that, make sure that you save your game so you don't mess up and you don't get caught. And in order to save your game, I'm going to move this over more. You go to Others, you go to Options, and then you go to Save Load Game. The next thing we're going to do is a little bit of burglary. Alright, so we were here at the back alley shop. We're going to go a little bit north to this building right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to climb through that window. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and just climb up the wall, and we're going to get near the window, and it's a little tricky, but you can, you know, this window isn't too bad. Some of them are really horrendous, but we're going to go ahead and climb in. And there we go. Alright. Now, I know what you're thinking. You want to just steal everything there is, but that's going to really lower your rep. Even though no one sees us, it's still really bad for rep. Alright, so we're going to go through the door here, and what we're going to do is one of those keys we bought will now open this door. We're going to go ahead and go inside. And there shouldn't be anyone in here. If there is, well, save and load game and then try again, and they won't be here. But on this bookshelf, there is a red book. It's right there. Now, here's how to steal. We're going to open our inventory. All right? And yes, I know there's a shortcut to do it. I'm not going to use it. We're going to go to the mask and equip it. There we go. And then we're going to hold the Alt key to pull our lantern out. We're going to look at the book and then hold R to steal. And we just stole Accessories of the World Volume 1. We're now going to take the mask off, and then we're going to pull out the book. Or we're going to click on the book, put it here, and then push spacebar to examine. Now, we're going to go ahead and open the book, and then hold Alt. If you hold Alt and you're like this, it won't do anything. You have to actually point your eyeballs at the book and hold it to examine and learn it. There we go. Now we're going to flip the page. And then we're going to read this page. There we go. So what that just did is, this book's valuable. We can sell it. But at the same time, this book just taught us how to craft earrings, necklaces, and amulets. Or necklaces, earrings, and rings. which is super important for stat maxing early on. I know there's a bunch of guides out there where you can go to this house and do a lockbox puzzle and get a special earring, but those earrings suck. The earrings, the accessories we're going to pump up the raw stats, but it's going to have open slots, which we're going to socket way better stuff into later in the game, but that'll be up to you. Now, since we weren't caught and no one saw us, all we lost is a little bit of reps. So, again, every time we have a successful heist, we are going to, you know what, save our game. Now, one of the reasons I unequip the mask is because it can bug out and the game will just consume your mask and it'll be gone forever. And you could buy these, again, from the fences every day at like 12 a.m. Their inventory refreshes. So these things aren't like, they're not gone forever. They're just temporarily gone. But as long as you take it off, it won't disappear. All right, now we're going to go back to the inn, which is right here on the map. And what we're going to do is we're going to do more arm wrestling. So, again, you can just push through these bozos. And there we go. So what you're going to do is walk up to the arm wrestling dudes and then do the same thing. You're going to do you're going to win 3 games in a row. That's going to earn you a little bit of money, but it's going to give you a skill point. Once you've won 3 times, you don't need to play anymore. That'll give us the skill point. Alright, and so your skills are actually located if you push the escape button, you go to skills at the top. And, yeah. It won't give it to us right now, though. Oh, I forgot. You have to beat the champion. So, yeah, just keep doing it until it says beat the champion. And that gives you an abyss artifact. And so, when you go to skills, you now have a skill point that you can allocate on this amazing board. And we want to go with mobility, but the game hasn't quite unlocked stuff for us yet, so we're going to hold on to it for now. Alright, so from the entrance of the inn, which is right here, you're going to go to this leftmost path up this way. And yeah, I just ran into a child. It's funny. But we're going to go up here. Now, this is the bank. We're not really going to the bank, though. We're going to actually go to the east over here through this kind of narrow, like, pathway. Down the stairs, there's going to be a house, and there's going to be like a little hill with a tree. And if you pull out your sword, you can see, well, it's supposed to show up. I don't know why it's not. But there's a fast travel point here, which I guess the game won't let me get yet because I haven't done, yeah, the game. Well, no, it's going to let me get it. Just stand in the middle of this, and it'll activate. Now we can fast travel here from anywhere on the map. Once you've gotten the waypoint, let me show you how to get back on track. If you push escape and you go to journal and then main quest, you can go here to the first encounter, click the mystical key, and make sure it has an X on it, and that's going to tell you go to Hernand Castle. Now, normally what we would do is you put on the clothing here, and when you go up to the guards will open the gate for you, which is pretty standard, but we don't have to do that. From the waypoint, if we face north on the castle wall, we can just climb it. And no, the guards don't give a shit if we climb a castle wall. Again, they're pretty tame. So again, we can just climb this up. And what this does, it saves you an immense amount of time of having to talk to the guards, and they sniff your butthole, and then they slowly open the gate. Anyway, now that we're in, we can go right here to the right. And again, there's another freaking wall there, right? So, again, we don't have to take that if we don't want to. We can just climb up the side here. So, yeah, it's way faster to just climb the castle walls than it is to talk to the guards, okay? So there we go. I just saved you like a whole minute of cutscene. Now that we're inside, we're going to go ahead and curve to the right here, going inside. And then we just kind of follow the quest markers. Alright. Well, a little too far, actually, but, yeah, it's actually above us, so we need to go upstairs. Sorry, it's been a while since I've played the start of the game. Okay, so, from here, let me show you where I'm at on the map. I am right here pointed at this kind of southeastern little corridor. As soon as we enter the doorway, you take a right, and then you go up the stairs. And the reason we have to be careful is we don't want to waste keys. Anytime you open a locked door, it eats up a key, and we need those for robbing things. Alright, so there we go. We're going to go up the stairs. No, we're not. We're not going up the stairs anymore. We went up the stairs already. So now, we're facing south, and then we're in this corridor. Now, when you When you walk in here the first time, a girl will say, this door is always locked, and it's this first door on the left. So we're going to go ahead and walk into here. And it did say we used a key to unlock it. Yeah, that's fine. But this is the alchemist chambers. And we're going to obviously grab the treasure chest here. That's what the game wants us to do. Right, there we go. We got, hey, another abyss artifact, right? Now, we don't want to go into the abyss gate right now, because this room is absolutely just chock full of goodies that we want to steal. So, we're going to save our game. And whenever you save and load, it does not put you back in the same place. It will put you at the fast travel point. But we're going to put that mask back on, because there's stuff in here that does not belong, well, to us. And we want to loot it. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold Alt, and you're going to grab again, the storage boxes here, the jewel boxes, and anything of the sort. Don't like grab everything. Like, we don't need wine, we don't need horse stimulant, okay, we don't need any of that stuff. But you want to grab the lock boxes. So this is an iron adorned storage box. This one is a jewelry storage. Alright, and you can grab stuff like this. Like, what the hell is this? This is a pale blue container. Well, we don't need that. You really got to keep your inventory clean. So this pale blue container, it sells for 1 copper. Throw that junk on the ground after you touch it. And now you can see what all future pale blue containers are. But yeah, you're just going to go through the room and yoink everything. I'll show you what my haul looks like. Now, once you steal everything, there's a lot of stuff to open. And what you can do is you can save your game, okay? Go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and save. But what you can do is you can roll it, and you can roll the jewelry storage boxes. And if you get earrings or rings, then, hey, you're good. If you don't, you can load game until you do. But you don't need to do this. We have the recipe to make these. They're pretty easy to make, and they're not that much stats anyway. They aren't going to make or break your character or make you hit a breakpoint where you're one-shotting things that you normally wouldn't. But remember, just go ahead and push spacebar, and you can see I got a copper earring, so that's cool. Alright, what else am I gonna get? I got a necklace. Alright. And again, these are like the freest, earliest things you can get. That's the first time I've gotten a necklace on my practice runs. And we got silver from that one. Alright, now these storage boxes, they can, they just have like keys, they can have money. These you don't have to re-roll. It's the jewelry box. Hey, look, we got another ring. There we go. We got our ring slots. But yeah, go ahead and pop these open. Now, what you don't want to do is don't open your light copper pouches. We're going to farm hundreds of these pretty quickly anyway, coming up soon. But we use these to bribe NPCs to be their best friend. You can, like, I'll go and open one. They're not that's not a big deal. Like, you just get money from them, but you get such little amounts of money, they're not really worth opening. They're better off used as bribes. And you may be wondering, these rings and these earrings have no stats. We're going to be upgrading them, and then they will get stats. Also, go ahead and put your leather armor back on. You don't need the outfit anymore, and you can even sell this. I mean, you can keep it on you, because it's a key item and all, but, like, you don't need it. And, yeah, it is what it is. We're going to be able to jump over castle walls very quickly, very soon. Alright, I hope you like puzzles, and I hope you like Twitter babies that quit the game, because we're going to be doing some puzzles. Alright. Alright, first puzzle's baby mode, alright? So, we're just going to go ahead and twist this around. And it may be hard to notice, but there are blue lights emitting from these two corners of the circle. Alright, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to whip it. Again, it's a little, it's a little wonky, but just really give your mouse a drag. I'm using my entire mouse pad. There we go. So right now, the power source, and I'll show you this. This is the source of power, this little cable here. And you can see this with this. Or you can also put your weapon away and hold the lantern, and you can also see it that way. So this is a power source going into this. It's trying to go over here, but it's not connected. So now we need to make it connected by going and attaching. And you don't want to grab the middle of the wheel. You want to grab the edge so that it's easier to pull. You can see right now, I don't really have leverage because I didn't grab like a good enough corner. So I'm going to try to grab like right there. There we go. And we're just going to push it like that. There we go. And now the light source is now connected to this pipe, which solves the puzzle. There we go. We did it. At this part, the game wants you to go forward to the sky bridge, but we're not going to do that because we need to get our reward. And it's really dumb the game doesn't make you do this. It doesn't even tell you that there's a reward. You would just have to stumble around the journal and challenges. And, where is it at? Yeah, you go to the Abyss and you go to Axiom Archive and it's like, well, we restored the Abyss, we didn't obtain the artifact. Huh? What? So, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn around to our left, facing kind of north or west. And we're going to curve along the edge here and go back to the entrance where we spawned in, which is going to be this gray building with the light and the diamond thing in the sky. So just kind of walk towards that. And our reward is over there. Okay? And it's a skill point, so you kind of want to go get it. But yeah, you see that floating cube that's over there? Just walk near it and it'll attack us. There we go. Boom, we got it. Awesome. Now we can go back to the sky bridge. Alright, here's another quit moment for a lot of the Twitter babies. And what you're going to do is use your tab button to yoink the hand. And then you're going to use the A and D key to twist it. And you're going to twist it until it makes a bunch of noise and a bunch of blue lights kind of shimmer like that. And then you're going to hold it there until the game goes into cutscene mode. There we go, we did it. When you reach this point, you have to wait for the floating platform to come pick you up. It's awkward. People are like, where do I go? Where do I go? Oh my god, I'm going to uninstall. And you just wait for the platform. And then it's going to take you back up to there, and you just proceed forward. Alright, so this is the big quit moment for like 25% of Steam users that left bad reviews. Alright, so here's the solution to the puzzle, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to use your little grabby arm to grab the floating power cube, and then you're going to whip it over on top of this little pillar. It's going to like burst away, and then you're just going to drop it, and there you go. Pretty simple stuff. And then you're going to take this processor looking thing, and you're going to shove it into its open slot on the wall there. Just as this thing is demonstrating, which we have to observe. And we're going to learn how to punch it in. And you're going to use this for a lot of puzzles. This is called Force Palm, alright? So now that we have Force Palm, we can now punch this thing into its slot. So we grab it, whip it over to the wall, and there we go. And then we're going to just punch it. And yeah, it's a little awkward. It doesn't always like to work, so let's get it a little closer to the wall. Let's see, there we go. It is now smushed up against the wall. And then, that is not the right button. That's the original button. Okay. We'll punch it in there. Awesome. But we're not done yet. We need to climb the hell out of here. Which can be a little troublesome at first. But, yeah, just climb some pillars. You'll find a way out. And now the big solution. You climb up onto this thing here. And then you punch it. There you go. That's all you have to do. It's so easy. And there we go, we are now awarded with another skill point. Alright boys, where are we dropping? Alright, so it wants us to return to Hernan, which you could technically float there and, you know, use your stamina and then, you know, slowly get there, that's fine. Or you can just fast fall down and die and respawn there. Or you can just land and walk there, or you can fast travel there once you land. So, the choice is ultimately yours. But, yeah, it just says return to Hernan, so, yeah, we're just gonna go right next to that tree. There we go. Right, chapter 1 done! We're on chapter 2 already! Very quick. Easy. Alright, so the game wants us to go to this watchtower and fight bandits, okay? We're not gonna do that yet. That's silly. No. What we're gonna do instead is, here's the map. We're gonna go to this question mark right up here, and we're gonna learn how to riposte. So, this bird will land on your shoulder with a note on it, so, just let it land. I don't know why it's hovering there. Come on. Why is it bugging out? But yeah, you just take the note. Alright, there it goes. It's going to land again. And then you just push R to take it. Yoinkers. I saw a clip of Asmongold shooting this thing with an arrow, and there was just an arrow stuck through its head. It was so funny. Anyway, you go to your inventory here. You got the little note, and then you can, yeah. So, its contents cannot be read. You have the White Crow's letter, and then you can examine that. And then this is just something a priest gave us. If you talk to a priest while you were in town, he'll just hand you a note, it's whatever. But the White Crow's letter is the one that we just got, so we're going to go ahead and pull that sucker out. hold the Alt button so we can learn it. And there we go. So this just teaches us how to do fast travel, which I've already showed you. So thank you, bird. All right. So what you're gonna do now is we are right up here, and let me toggle the view here. All right. So it hasn't revealed what this location is, but you're gonna walk into this big pit of guards, and in the middle there are these two that are doing like a defense thing right here. You're gonna stare at them, and you're gonna hold control to observe them. And this is a tier 3 ability, by the way. Alright. And this is counter. So what happens is if you attack, left click, not right click, only works with your light attack. Alright. If you just attack right before they hit you, you just riposte and hit them back. This restores spirit, by the way. It's something, if you're just spamming left click or holding left click, it'll go off on its own a bunch. So there we go. That is counter. Let me show you just how good this is. I have not seen any other YouTubers talk about this. Every freaking guide video ever, these people got this game like 3 weeks before I got to play it, and they didn't even find this. It's so ridiculous. But where is it at? It is not Force Palm. It is Keen Senses, okay? Every guide ever's like, you gotta level up Keen Senses so you can get dodge, and so you can get counter, and you're wasting your talent points, okay? Now, these talent points are easy to get. You can farm them up, so it doesn't really matter. But this, if it's free, it's free, right? So there you go. You just got a tier 3 ability for free. And there's more to get. I'm going to show you. Now, I want to point out at this point here, this is like a spear fighting like tournament thing. Not really a tournament, but just like a little area to earn a skill point. If you talk to this guy, once you have a spear, you get into 3 fights, and then you'll get a skill point. I don't have a spear right now, and it's kind of a waste of time because the people are really beefy in these fights, so it takes a bit. Alright, so again, we have people doing stuff. We got a guy doing flip kicks. If you walk up and stare at him, nothing. Now we have a guy swinging a sword, big dude. We walk up to him, hey look, we can observe another skill. Check it out. Let's see what we get from this bozo. And there we go. We learn how to do consecutive spinning slashes. So this is good for AoE clear, though we have a better ability in mind for combat, and we'll get to that later. But hey, that's a free ability, all right? Again, walk up to this guy, and what is he going to teach us? Let's see. All right, again, we're just picking up skills here, just staring at people. Now we have proficiency, right? So this is, you just follow up with a more finishing slash. So you can, there's another camp you can also get this at, but we got it here. Now we got a guy stabbing a spear. Let's see if he's got anything. Nope. Alright, last guy's warming up those shoulders. Alright, nothing from him either. So there you go. Just be observant.
Save me standing here.
And, I thought this guy had binoculars, but no, he's just taking a swig, right? But yeah, anytime you see NPCs doing literally anything, just go stare at them and see if you can absorb their power. Alright, now we need to get some money. Right, yeah, awesome. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to this Lion Crest Manor. Now, don't try to walk into the building because the guards will kick you out. But just go to the entrance. Oh, by the way, if you see a spiked fence, you can't climb that. And we don't have movement tech yet, so we'll be able to jump over these no problem in a little while. But right now, we're still bare bonesing it for just a bit longer. Not too much longer, though. But here we are at the manor. Alright, very cool. And yeah, there's a lot of loot in here. There's all these videos. Oh, get a samurai sword. No, it sucks. Don't get it. Alright, but you're just gonna... The guards don't give a shit, by the way. Just get near the window and hope that the prompt, like, lights up. There we go. It takes it a bit sometimes. But yeah, just go ahead and let yourself in. If you try to walk through the front door, the guards will simply just shove you away. So, in the main foyer, what we need to do is we need to make sure... And by the way, before we do anything, it's time to make a safety save. That's right, a safety save. Oh, and I forgot to take my mask off, uh-oh. But go to this fireplace and then crouch down and hold Alt to pull out your lantern and make sure there's no one around. And you'll notice there's a steel... Oh, see, someone's there, so we can't do it right now. We have to wait for this guy to leave. Alright, and people will come in and go through doors and stuff, whatever. So wait for that door to shut. Alright, so we're gonna now hit the steel button. And we're going to reach our hand into the fireplace. Or, well, it's supposed to dig up in the fireplace. Did it give me the item? Yes, and we just got a gold bar. These things are actually worth 500 silver, dude. Alright, so once the crime ticker has gone down, we're going to now fast travel. Which, see, this guy was in the room during my crime little indication in the corner. So, nothing happened. But if he walked in on me with that crime indicator on, we would be busted and we'd have to load game. But because we didn't, we're fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fast travel back to town. Click all, and then click the fast travel button. There we go. Alright, and since we weren't caught, you could make another safety save, but we're going to go right here to this building that is just west of the fast travel point, and this is the bank. We actually walked by it earlier. Alright, so, and we're going to rob the bank, and then we're going to give the bank their money back. I know that sounds silly, but yeah. So this is the bank, and we're just going to walk through the front door here, and there we go, boom. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to walk into this side room. This is going to eat one of our keys. There we go. It's now unlocked. We're going to wait for that door to shut. We have the mask on, and we are going to start looting all of the boxes. That's right, and we're going to open them all too. Now remember, we don't want to buy them. We want to steal them. So hold your Alt key, and the steal button becomes available. And yeah, we're going to lose some rep for this, but this is quick money, okay? There we go. Just yoink every single strong box, lock box, etc. And there's more boxes to be looted as well, not just in this room. There's one upstairs. It's a little better guarded though, but we're gonna go ahead and clean this one out first. And yeah, I'll get back to you. All right, so we have picked the room clean, and yes, we picked up the bottles, the vases, and the random loot in the chests, but now we're going to open all of these boxes. Now, obviously, like, this jar is only like 20 copper. We're gonna sell it, so don't worry, but again, we're going to open... You can go ahead and open your pouches, too, because we don't need to bribe anyone. We need as much money as possible. And yeah, opening these boxes one at a time kind of sucks, but, you know, it is what it is, like 3.89 silver. Hey, not bad, right? And again, we have another room that we need to do this in, too. Alright, now when we go upstairs, there is another wall of lock boxes, and a guard is there. Alright, but they are all over here on this shelf, and as long as you are crouching and he is not directly looking at us, then it is fine. So you can kind of angle it like this, but again, it's, I would do a safety save, but you can see he's like looking at us, and now he's not, but, it's a little wonky, but as long as you're crouching and you're yoinking things, he sometimes reacts, he sometimes doesn't. So just make a safety save. If he reacts and tries to arrest us, then just load game. Also, don't forget to open these drawers, because there are stuff inside of them too. So there we go. There's a box in there, and you have to like aim at each individual drawer. It's a little weird, but yeah. So we got the top drawer, and now we're aiming at the middle one. And again, there's a box in here. I didn't loot it. I gotta reopen that. But you get the idea. Clean these suckers out. Alright, I have another inventory of boxes to open. Let's get to it. Alright, so we are now at 74 silver, and we have a gold bar, but we need a little bit more money, and then we'll be set. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna wait out the crime timer, and then we're gonna fast travel back to town. And we're going to go make a safety save, and then we're going to gamble. That's right, we're going to go gamble. So again, we're just going to fast travel back here. That way it resets all the NPCs, and everybody's back to normal. No weird shenanigans where someone suddenly knows we're a criminal. And now we're going to go back to the inn. That's right, we're going back to the inn now. And we're going to do this to get a skill point. Now, this is going to take quite a bit of saving and loading to do. But, yeah, we're running back to the inn from the fast travel. It's pretty easy to get to. And this time, we're going to go up the stairs to the inn. There we go. And we're going to go through this doorway, and it's going to be like a smoky room. And it's always random how many people are sitting at this table, but you'll see duo and a stool. We're going to go ahead and put 15 silver down as our, you know, buy-in, and we're going to play some pseudo poker game. You don't need to know the rules. You're just gonna all in and hope the enemies all in until you have all their money, and then you're gonna save if you win, and you're gonna load if you lose. And that's pretty much it, right? And so sometimes the screen will glow blue,
I am testing my
And if it
today.
glows blue, you can accuse them, and they'll get their hand smashed off. Now, if you don't, it's an auto lose because they're cheating. That's what it means whenever the screen glows blue and you, like, see through their ruse. But again, you don't need to learn how to play this game. You're just going to all in. Just push D to all in, all right? And if you win, you save. If you lose, then you load game. And you're going to do this until you're over 100 silver. But you can also do this if you beat the entire table. Like, if everyone calls and you win, you get a skill point. But don't expect it. It's kind of really random to get. Now, if you lose, you only lost 15 silver. So what happens is that means that the person on the table that won, they still have that money to gamble with. You'll see here that Noble Punter in the bottom has 32 silver, all right, because he's still sitting at the table. He didn't get up. And I had to buy back in at 15. If you've ever played Texas Hold'em, right, that's just how it is. But keep playing until you're completely broke, then load. It'll save you more time, because you can always win your money back. Now, it's very important that you don't accidentally save instead of load, because then you just lose all your money and you're screwed. So, don't do that. Oh, by the way, if you accidentally pull out your bow, everyone will just kind of leave. That is a way to clear out rooms, is just point a bow at them, like this, if you need to rob a room, like if you need to steal stuff, and people will get shocked and leave. Now, static characters like guards, they're not going to leave, but like, say I wanted to steal this treasure chest, right? Well, since everyone's, almost everyone's left the room, I mean, she hasn't, so... But yeah, this is a way to get them to leave. They're kind of bottlenecked into the doorway and stuck, so you gotta just kind of like shoulder ram them and you can get them out, but just a little tip for you. Now remember, you can get up from the table at any time. You don't have to empty out someone's money. So what happens when you have multiple money here? So I have 62 silver now. Remember, I sat down with 15, and it's not letting me get up for some reason. Okay, there we go. This game's engine is weird when you alt-tab out of the game. But now I'm at 106 silver, so again, I'm going to make a safety save, but in order to reset the table so there's more money, you just fast travel back to the fast travel. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to save, and then I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to gamble again. Alright, so that did take a little bit longer than I thought. Let me see exactly how long it took. Yeah, I had some real bad runs, and that took almost an hour. Not quite, but yeah, I spent about an hour playing the damn game. And again, I'm just hitting all in every time, and when I lose, I load game. But you can see my silver now is at 142, so not much. But we need it over 100. It doesn't have to go much over 100. But now we're going to go back to the bank, and we're going to open an account, which costs 100 silver. And with that opened account, we can deposit that gold bar and start earning passive income for the rest of the game. That's right. That's the whole point of doing this, alright? But we're going to go make more money later. It's fine. But this is just more money as you play. There we go. We're going to the bank.
Guarantee safe transaction.
And we're going to do a strongbox registration. This costs 100 silver. Go ahead and confirm it. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the low risk strategy. And the reason why is the medium risk strategy is a 5% on average, not on average, but it's a 5% gain if you did 1,000,000 runs. And the high risk strategy is also a 5% gain if you did 1,000,000 runs. But the high-risk strategy can bankrupt you early, and then, like, if you get a bad run, you're just dead in the water. And you can even get a bad run with the medium strategy. So, you can change the strategy anytime, but for now, we put it on low risk, which means guaranteed money. Now, it's not much, but, you know, as you play for 20, 40, 60 in-game days, it's going to just add another 500. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to deposit a gold bar. There we go. And now we have 500 deposited into the bank, and every 3 in-game days we will earn 1 to 2% on that, which is up to 10 silver. I know that doesn't sound like much, and it isn't, but then that 510 silver will then become more, and once it reaches like 1,000, well then you're making 20 silver now every 3 days, and so on. And you can always come back here once we get a bunch of money and put more into it so that it grows faster, but this is just growing money. Now, we don't need a lot of money for things, and we still have plenty of money on us right now. Again, we have a whopping, this is the start of the game, we have a whopping 42 silver. And we still have crap to sell, so we're going to get some more. But we have multiple... There's ways to farm silver incredibly fast. We just need to progress the game a little bit more so we can get there. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of combat now. And what we're going to do is we're going to cheese the hell out of it. So we're going to go right here on the skill tree to Blinding Flash Finisher. And this costs one of our artifacts. And we are going to inspect it and then learn skill. And there we go. Very simple. There's a little cutscene that plays. Oh boy, we're being cringe in public, everybody. Look out. But, yeah. There we go. Now, we're not really ready to go fight yet, because there's a couple things we want to buy. So we're going to go, here's the inn. You know where the inn is. Right next door is some shops, right? We have this big lug here, this absolute big boy. And then right to his left, there's a doorway, and this is a smithy, all right? Now, on the wall of the smithy is a bunch of swords. Now, if you try to open a dialogue with these guys, you can't buy these swords. But if you look at the wall and hold Alt with your lantern out, we're looking for a Decker sword, a Dekar sword. And there's a Fallen Kingdom sword. That one also works, all right? Now, Decker or Fallen Kingdom is fine, so we're going to go ahead and buy that for 1 silver. There we go. And I know we got a sword, you know, from that one thing. This one does 12 attack damage, but this Decker sword, where is it at, is 16. Alright, so it's a lot stronger, alright? Now, the Decker sword is 14. The Fallen Kingdom sword is 16. We're going to be killing mobs that drop these swords, so it's not a big deal. But we're going to go ahead and slap that sword on. There we go. So right now our gear is Fallen Kingdom sword and just some basic stuff. Now, one other thing that we also need to do is go buy some boots. So just to the left of the smithy is the tailor, and this woman sells cloth goods. But for whatever reason, there's some boots right behind her. We're going to hold Alt. It's a little hard to get in there, but you want to not steal. Let's take that mask off. There we go. And we want to buy these boots for 52 copper. There we go. Go ahead and buy those. And that's the Bolin leather boots. Those should always be there. And this, now you may be thinking, oh, it's +2 attack power. Here's the thing, unfortunate stat with boots. It is purely when you do kick moves. Okay? It does not increase the attack power of your sword swings. I am sorry. But yeah, this is just, it's a simple boot upgrade, and we get this because we're going to refine it, and it's just going to be better than our Ytinium boots. That's just how it is. Anyway, so that's it for gear for now. But we do want to sell all that crap, so we're just going to go ahead and talk to this gentleman here. We're not going to listen to his request, but we're going to go ahead and just sell a bunch of this stuff. And, you know, you may have different stuff, but any of these, like, blue items, just go ahead and... you know, if it lets you sell them, go for it. Like, seeds, you don't need to keep seeds. Magnifying glass, hourglasses, who cares? Alright, all the jars from the bank. Like, the bank's gonna be like, what the hell you have my jars for, bro? There we go. More gilded bottles. You know, just sell all this junk. Don't sell your lentils or your oats. Now, this accessories of the world, we already read it, so we can go ahead and sell that. You want to keep Azurite if you happen to get that. Alright. And then, of course, Bismuth ore. You know, that was a random drop as well. But yeah, don't ever sell keys either. We're not going to sell the meat. And I would hold on to the weapons for now. If you want to collect them, that's fine or whatever. But, yeah, there we go. So we're all sold up. And we're ready to go. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down here to Renee. I don't know what her name is, but she's the butcher. Alright, and it's just a stroll down the road, and we're gonna do a little cooking quest, and she gives us the ingredients, so it's real easy to do. But so many people mess it up, and the reward is inventory slots and, well, some free healing items, which we desperately are gonna need. So we're gonna go ahead and listen to her request, and I'll skip this for you. Alright, so now, after the dialogue, lots of dialogue, you're going to go over here to this little crafting manual, and you'll see recipe fish porridge. So yeah, you have to actually read it to learn it, I know. And it's going to tell you some stuff on the screen, right? It's going to tell you the ingredients, but you don't have to memorize it because your character memorizes it. Right behind her is a cooking pot. So we can just go over here, and sometimes the character gets stuck and it doesn't properly, like, latch onto it, but this time it worked. I'm going to push C for field pot cooking, and we're going to go to fish porridge. And, yeah, we're going to go ahead and, let's see. We can use the lentils, wheat, or oats. It does not matter, alright? And then we're going to make them, and we're going to make all of them. So there we go. Remember, just make the regular one, not the hearty one, not the special one, just the regular one. And, yeah, there it is. Ta-da! So fancy. Alright, cool. Fish porridge acquired. Awesome. And we're going to go turn that back into her right now. So, easiest quest ever. Just hand it over. Alright, after you're done with the quest, open her shop and buy the small bag. There we go. And that's a +1 inventory slot. Oh, and doing the quest gave us 3 inventory slots. These are very important to get early. Alright, so we're going to be doing a little bit of gathering missions just to get some materials. Now, I know that there are people out there that are good at the game, and that you can just skip the mining part and go straight for the arm drill, which is what I just did. Now, I'm obviously going to load game, but I just want to show you, with a base cliff with no skills or enhancements, yes, you can beat the drill boss. It's a very easy to beat boss. You got to be patient. But this drill arm will let you mine rocks much more efficiently. Well, I missed. But yeah, you can just drill, and it has a % chance to give you extra ores. So obviously you would want to get this ASAP rather than using a crappy pickaxe. And I'm going to show you later in the video how to beat that boss, but I want you to be more beefed up. And here's the thing too. The boss being somewhere-ish up around here, or I'm sorry, it's up here. Yeah, there it is. The stolen quarry, right? You get the gold vein map and the mining knuckle drill. So, whenever you beat the boss, this Karen quarry becomes conquerable, and we don't want that. We want to farm the bandits here for items, money, and skill ups for the abyssal thingies, so that we can get a whole bunch of points into our stats and become super powered. But if we beat the boss, then we can't farm it. We can only farm it once it gets cleared, and then it's empty. Alright, but anyway, back to the game. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to each one of these question marks, which is a vendor, and we're going to buy the bag slot. Also, don't forget to go down here to the back alley shop and buy that bag. If we didn't do that already, I forgot if we did or not. So again, we're going to buy every single bag that they have. Now, also, if they have water, we're going to be buying all of the water. And they restock at midnight every day, by the way. So, now, normally from this guy, we would also want to buy barley and oats and stuff. But we're not going to do that right now. We'll worry about that later. But there's a few other things that we'll be buying from vendors as well. Alright, from the provisioner shop, he does sell a fishing rod, but we don't need this. We can fish with our hands, and again, if you want to go fishing, fine. It's just slow as hell, but again, we're just buying the freaking bag. Now, when you get to Rhett, we are going to listen to his request, and this is, I believe, the mining quest. And then right behind him, we're going to be getting the lumberjacking request from Ternali. At the inn, they also sell water, so buy all of it. You're going to need a lot of water. Alright, now, on your way down here to the back alley shop again, we're going to go to this little area where we stole that book, and we're going to go right at the front door. And if you see a woman bolt out the door, we're going to tackle her because she is wanted. We don't need the poster. We don't need to sell the poster. We're just going to get near it, and usually it'll spawn her in the house, and she'll run out the door, or rarely it'll spawn her outside and she'll run in the door and then run back out. It's really wonky. But yeah, the time of day does not matter. It just matters that we're near the building. And since we were in here earlier, it's not this lady either. It's she'll be running. She'll be like full sprint running. And sometimes she gets like caught on things inside, so it doesn't always like play out. But if it doesn't happen, we can go peek inside. And, let's see, is this her? I don't think this is her. No. Maybe. Wake up. Wake up, lady. Actually, yeah, that's her. She's got the wolf head. Yeah, so she's gonna run now. And, we're gonna follow, and we're just gonna, you know, mash our ship key, and we're gonna tackle her. And the guard doesn't care because she's a criminal.
What are you doing?
So what you have to do Man, this pissed so many people off on Twitter, but you're gonna punch her until you can tie her up. Alright, so it takes a few wallops. But you'll see in the bottom right, you'll eventually get an option to tie her up. There we go, tie up. Alright, so we got her, and then we're gonna pick her up, and we're gonna take her to the jail. Which is just some metal cages, so we're gonna hold E to carry her.
Perhaps the hounds have confused me with someone else.
There we go, we got her. And now, we're going to go ahead and ferry her. It's, there's an X on your map, the constabulary, however you say that. So, I'm just gonna run along the road. You can also get on your horse and do it if you want. Alright, so at the back alley shop, buy the small bag, buy water, buy keys, buy a mask if you don't have one, and azurite as well. Now, also you're going to buy this Borin leather helmet. It is literally a boot that you wear on your head. I know. It's ugly, but trust me, we're going to need it for the defense. And no, we're not wearing a plate helmet. If we wear all leather, we get a set bonus. I want you to keep in mind two other things. We're not going to buy them right now, but Poison Arrow Blueprint is here. And Wind Slash. We can't use Wind Slash until Chapter 5. So, and it would take up an item slot. We don't want this eating up our item slot. Neither do we for this Poison Arrow Blueprint, which we're not going to utilize until, like, a super late game. But, yeah, just keep that in mind. If you come down to this area right here, there is a street vendor. And we're going to go ahead and buy a few things from him as well. So we're going to buy iron ore, all of them, copper ore, all of them as well, and all of his water, of course. There we go. So now we're going to make our way down to the communal training grounds to observe and learn more abilities. Now, you'll have to come back to these training grounds during the day because at 4 in the morning, no one's actively training, unfortunately. So come back when the sun's out. Now, I want to give you a random tip for the horse. You don't... This horse sucks. You can get a legendary horse, but you're going to want around 250 to 300 stamina to make it easier. And, yeah. But up here at the top of the town of Hernand, whatever this town is called, we have the horse stables and like a service that heals your horse. You never have to use that. If your horse is injured, and it will get injured, all you gotta do is hold your force palm, push tab for force palm healing, and then punch your horse, and that will heal it, okay? You can heal anything in the game with that. You can heal the enemy boss that you're fighting if you want to. But yeah, that's how you repair your horse. You just give them a good slap. Alright, so when you are in town, kind of in the town square area near the big tree icon, there is this guy that's kind of over here, and he's going to give us a quest. House Robert's servant, so we're going to listen to him. Now it wants us to travel down here to this little muck root ranch. Then we're going to talk to this guy on the bench. Alright, so what that did is that put a bandit camp on the map right down here, but we're not going to go there just yet. Instead, we're going to run along the cliff side of this road, going, again, towards the communal training grounds. We're going to start, like, up here and run this way, looking at the cliffside walls for iron deposits. Holy crap. Everyone was talking all at once when I closed the menu there. How weird.
Yeah.
So you can see on the cliff wall here, there is deposits. Now, these are blue ones, so we can go ahead and grab those too. But what you're going to do is hold F2, go to your ordinary gloves, and switch it to the pickaxe. And I know you can mine this with your sword, but you get more ores if you use the pickaxe. So use the damn pickaxe. And yeah, the ores go flying, so this is copper, and we're going to need this for upgrades. But you'll notice that I got 2 there. If you use your sword, it'll only poop out 1, so that's why we use the pickaxe. So if you want to know if something is mineable, when you're holding the Alt key, you see how there's like a red icon? This means this is just a decorative wall. But if we go over to, like, right over there, you see how that one's a little bit more brighter blue? If I mouse over it with Alt, it turns blue, and that means we can get some more. Oh boy. And the best way is just to hold your E button and walk over this, and you'll kind of fast loot it as it tumbles out. But yeah, we're going to need a whole bunch of this, but we're going to run along the entire side of the cliff here and grab all the resources. And these will be marked on your map as you find them. So right here we have copper, and now I'm over here, and there is an iron deposit. So there we are. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and mine out the iron, and that's the quest that we got from Rhett, I believe. Alright, so I have mined a whole bunch of different deposits, and even one over here, and I'm back at the communal training grounds, and it is now 8 in the morning, so let's see if they're out. Oh, it looks like they are. Very cool. Alright, so we got some more contestants here. Let's see. Ooh, I don't want to bump. If you bump into them or scare them, they'll run away, so we're going to observe. Oh, the children. Yeah, the children. Okay. So these guys are doing martial arts. So now, there we go. Now we can do more punches. It's not something we're really going to utilize, but there we go. Alright, what about these guys? Now, this guy right here, I believe, is the one that also gives you the proficiency, but we got that at the other camp already. So yeah. Also, you can give them money. So here you go, kids. Good job. Beggar boy. Why are you wearing a long shirt? Well,
Wow,
wait.
thanks.
Are you sure these are... I don't know. They don't really look like... Oh, wait. We got more. Get that +1 XP contribution. Oh, man.
My thanks for your kindness.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Alright. Alright, now we need to cut down some trees. I know the quest is telling us to go, like, all the way over here to chop trees. I mean, we can kind of do that because there's a turn-in over there. There's also the turn-in for the iron ores over here. And we'll do that after we clear this bandit camp, so no rush. But let me teach you the real way to chop trees, okay? You're going to use your sword, alright? You're going to use your left and right mouse button to first... There's multiple stages, alright? We still have to use the lumberjack axe, because if we don't get fine timber. But we're going to just hold, or push left and right click, and that's going to chop it down into one big-ass log, and then we're going to do the same thing, left and right click at the same time. And it takes a few tries to maybe hit it right. There we go. And that's going to break it up into chunks. When you have your chunks... That is not what I wanted to do. When you have your chunks, switch to your logging axe. And then you have to hold Alt and then right-click to slam it down. And this will give you fine timber most of the time. So you get a fine timber and then you get a regular timber. You don't always get a fine timber, but if you use your sword to break these, you never get a fine timber. So just do that. And we're going to be chopping a good amount of trees. I know the quest only wants us to do 3, but we want to get like at least 10 or more fine timber. You're going to go through this quickly. I would get 15 to 20 if you're really bored. But just anytime, you know, you feel like it, start chopping down some trees. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of, you know, do all these real quick. If I can line my character up, that is. There we go. So that's tree number 2. And not enough spirit. So we actually don't have the ability to charge our spirit yet. So yeah, we'll get that soon. It's coming. It's coming. Alright, so what happened here was I chopped a bunch of trees and then I went to go save my game and I accidentally hit the load game button instead of the save game button. So I lost a bunch of time there, but there was an autosave, so I only really lost 4 minutes. Now I gotta chop more trees. Oh, and be careful, if you chop a tree, they can land on you and kill you. Not that it really matters if you die, because you don't lose anything. Alright, I'm at another street vendor. He's got some iron ore and water, and I'll show you where he's at. He is just southwest of the Raider Camp quest that we need to do. And this is a fist arena. You could try this if you want, and if you beat 3 opponents in a row, you do get a skill point, but without any stamina upgrades, it can be kind of annoying. I'm not going to do it for the sake of the video, but it's easy enough that you can do it. You just hold right-click on opponents, and they usually go down no problem, so it's just, I don't know, it's optional, really. Alright, so now it's time to go fight the bandits. That's right, first real fight. Not really, they're super easy. So I'm going to teach you how to fight bandits. I just need to have a little bit of space here. Alright, and so what you're going to do is you're going to kind of balance between your stamina bar and your spirit bar. Alright, that's not what I wanted it to do. But essentially, here's how you're going to do that. You're going to hold Q to pull out this thing. Then in order to do your combo, you're going to hold left click and then you're going to hold right click and then you can let go of everything else but right click. And so it's going to look like this. So you do these like 4 slashes into a big explosion that's going to knock everything on their ass. Now this eats up almost all of your spirit, the little green meter in the bottom left corner. And as long as you have at least 5 spirit, you will be able to do the full combo, even though each hit takes 5 spirit. To get spirit back, you just kill an enemy, which your combo should do. Or you can perfect block something. So if I pull out my, my weapons here, and I just tap the alt button to raise the shield, right before they hit me, if I just hit alt, that's a perfect block, that'll give you more spirit back. Also, we have riposte, so if you just attack with a regular left-click attack, a light attack, right before they hit you, that's a riposte, that'll give you spirit back. So, kill a target, or do a perfect block, or just wait around a bit. You can just run away from them until it restores, and that'll give you spirit back as well. But you'll notice in the on our radar in the bottom left, we have red dots. And those red dots are bandits. They also have red shirts, so they're very easy to see. Now, one cool thing is that we can actually crouch down and see their sight lines, if we want. But you can also stealth assassinate them, too. If you manage to sneak behind one, if you want, you can just push E, and you will insta-kill them. Now, there's another thing to note as well. If you look at the red dots on our radar, they're all kind of smooth little diamonds. If you see a jagged or a spiky red dot, that is an elite. Those guys have combos and they will 100 to 0 and kill you, right? Another thing too that we might want to do is set up our food. So we have those, where are they? The fish porridges, we can make that our active food. We don't really need to use these. Now here's the thing, for bandit clearing in general, if you die, you die. You respawn nearby, you continue killing them. You can literally die 5-6 times killing one bandit at a time, and you will eventually clear them out. There is no way to lose because there's no way for you to permanently die, okay? So anyway, let me show you now as we engage the bandits right now. They all have their back turned. But if I hop the fence, it's going to make noise, and they're immediately going to engage me, right? But if I push Q, as long as I'm not getting chain hit, if I push Q, that stuns them for a bit because it blinds them. And now I just hold right click and then they're all knocked on their ass. And then I just rinse and repeat this combo, or not, because I messed up the button input. Yeah, there we go. So this one's now dead. And then we will, knock all of them on their ass. Combo again. That's it. That's all we do. And even though it says not enough spirit, well, we just killed some there. So again, we blind them, and then we just attack. It's whatever, alright? So, yeah, that's the bandits being cleared. I know they kind of got ganged up on me, but I normally don't try to do a stealth takedown. I normally just run at them and just do that same combo over and over. It is the highest damage combo. It AoEs everything around us. It slows time. It gives you super armor except versus bosses, and it denies them of their super armor. So yeah, there you go. Now the follow-up says, speak with Eric at Blue Mount Manor. Do not do the follow-up, because if you do, it's going to mess up a grind spot that we're going to use later. Also be aware when you're clearing small camps of bandits and not really big camps, that if you don't loot them before the mission completes, they're gone, but they don't have very good loot, at least the ones around the starter town. What we're going to be doing is we're going to eventually farm bandits that are, they're like up here in a quarry, and that's a giant zone, and as long as we don't ever kill the boss, we can farm them pretty much indefinitely, getting a lot of talent points. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So right now we're going to go turn in, right here, we need to turn in Rhett's request, which we're pretty close to, so we'll go ahead and do that right now. Now, while you run around, you'll see a purple cube icon on your mini-map, and that denotes these little guys. These are challenges of sort. This is a sealed abyss artifact, and you'll pick it up, your character will look at it, whatever, it doesn't matter, just put it in your inventory, and the game will explain what they are, but I'm going to explain too. So it just gave me Sword of Trials 3, defeat 3 enemies with a sword without taking damage. If I manage to do that, this artifact will unlock, and I can get a skill point for it, so that's pretty neat. Now, I'm not going to include those in the guide because some people will be able to do them, some people won't. I mean, I think that they're pretty damn easy to do. Alright, so here we are at the quest turn in. There we go, there's Rhett's assistant, and we're just going to hand over the goods. Now, while we're here, we're going to go right here, and there is a fast travel, and there's a way to kind of see it, sort of. We're going to go ahead and face the direction. Yeah, it's up on the, it's on top of this thing, but if you hold out your sword of light, sometimes you'll see a glimmer of it. But in order to climb this, there's an easier way to climb it, because I know what you're thinking, like, oh man, we gotta go around the long way. No, we can zip up this thing lickety-split. And that's where our skill points come in, and so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and we're going to learn double jump. Where is it at? It is right here. So yeah, double jump. This is gonna cost 1 of our points. Now, you can, I'm going to tell you right now, there is a place in the game you can observe characters doing this and learn this for free. However, that town, you have to do a very tedious quest where you have to find this giant tree creature and yoink something off of his head, and it's really annoying because he roams all around the map. And if you aren't in the right spot at the right time, he's a pain in the ass to find. And there's no way to observe this character without doing that quest first. Because they won't let you in their village, they'll sleep dart you and drag your ass out of there every time. It sucks. So, we're just going to use it now because this thing pays dividends now. We need this now, not later. So there we go, we have now learned double jump. The next thing we need to learn is air stab. And so, why is it on sucker punch? Oh, it's because I have fist selected. It doesn't matter what you have selected, I'm going to put it back on sword. But right here is stab, and we need to level this one up, alright? So, by leveling it up, we get a bunch of other cool skills too. But aerial stab, this lets us do an aerial stab. All right, and so that's what we want. So we're gonna go ahead and put 1 point there. There we go. And now it's level 2 out of 3. And now we're gonna put 2 abyssal artifacts, maxing it out. All right, so now we have this maxed out. Now, aerial stab does not work with all weapons. Okay. Aerial stab, I hit the wrong button, works with sword and board. It does not work with dual wield. If you have a long sword, you can do 1 stab with it, and then it won't let you do any more. Alright? But with sword and board, you can continuously air stab as long as you have stamina. So here is the order of operations to climb big things. No, that's not that. You're going to double jump, and it's a little tricky. The timing is a little wonky because the game is jank as hell, right? If you haven't figured that out by now. Your character is kind of weighty. So you're going to jump, and then you're going to triple force punch under you, which will jump you up. So it's going to look like this, alright? So you're going to, hold on, well, you got to climb up. So you're going to jump, and then do 3 of these, and then you're going to hold shift and right click, and then you're going to aim upwards. And yeah, I just got burned by the side there. And you don't want to grab the side of the cliff like I did. You want to just continuously air stab upward at an angle, and you will skate across, you'll skate against the mountain, and it will accelerate you for some reason. Let me show an example, but first let's loot this. This is an Abyss Crescent. This gives us a skill point, by the way. Very cool. And it also is a fast travel, so it doubles. Very neat. Alright, also, you see these purple plants? Don't step in them. They will kill you. I'll demonstrate that now. It's fine. Look, they just deal tons of damage and then you die. Whatever. Alright? There's only a few parts in the game that have these. It's whatever. Death has found you. Don't instant revive. We're going to revive at a checkpoint. So, sometimes checkpoints have treasures. So if you're ever bored, kill your character by jumping super high. And then, you know, respawn and see if there's any loot nearby. In this case, there isn't. But anyway, now that we have our movement tech, let's go over just basic movement, right? If you just double jump, hold shift, right click, you can now zip in the air. And again, this takes stamina. And then you want to glide to, like, get back on the ground safely, right? And you're going to be using this tech to do all sorts of things, like hunt animals. And again, you're going to be using it to accelerate you up the side of cliffs and mountains with way less stamina usage and way more speed than if you were to climb it normally. Alright, we got a few hostiles over here. Also some random ores. If you're just wandering around and you see ores, mine it, because you're going to need a bunch, right? But again, so if I just normally air stab like this, you can see it doesn't shoot me too high. It shoots me high enough, right? But if I do it against a cliff face, it's way more proficient. And no, I didn't want to jump towards the cliff. Also, there's something crawling on that little iguana. If I do it like this, look how I just go flying. I just go soaring through the air. It is way faster, and that momentum will carry you upwards. So yeah, what is going on here? There's some bad guys over here. It looks like, or oh no, they're scared because I just air stabbed over their heads, and now they're all like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, that is our movement tech. It is way better than using glide or flight or anything of the sort. And yeah, like we can jump this gap. I'm not joking. So we're gonna jump. Okay, we glided. So we cancel glide into an air stab, and that was a bad example. Also, we don't have a lot of stamina right now, so let's jump, air stab. So yes, we can now cross really big gaps really easily, and this will save you an immeasurable amount of time. But now that we have this little abyss crescent, which we can fast travel to, we're gonna get another one. And it's located, well, it's over here, so just put a marker on this camp. And, yeah, we're going to go ahead. And, again, this is a really big, steep mountain. Look at that, right? But we can zip right up that thing with air stabs. No problem. Alright, so let's demonstrate. Now, normally this would be unclimbable without high stamina, or you'd have to rest on each little rock cliff facing. That's stupid. Alright, no, we're just going to zip up this thing. Look at that. We literally, well, accidentally didn't do the button input right. But yeah, we need a double jump. And your double jump does take spirit. Alright, so I am doing it way too slow here. Ugh. Alright. Come on, try again. No, it's cause my character is hitting a grabbable ledge. There we go. So that's one. And I'm holding the button down, man. Yeah, it's trying to grab the ledge. You can also release from a ledge into an air stab. So you can do it like this, and we're just flying. Now, one other thing, too, while you're climbing ledges, you can actually jump between two ledges, and here's how to do that, right? Let me grab on the side of a ledge. So if you hold the Alt key, you'll have this little aimer, and then you can jump, and as you jump and hold spacebar, you'll grab on the ledge, which I didn't do it right. But, yeah, make sure it says jump in the bottom right corner like that. Now hold spacebar, and then you'll restore some stamina, right? I'm not doing it right, but anyway, that's just a few other things. Like, stamina isn't a real big thing in this game anymore. Alright, we're gonna look for... There it is, there's the waypoint. You see that big glow? It's right beyond these little trees. And there it is. So again, we can see that glow right there, bright as day. And that is our next fast travel waypoint. You can see on the map, it is right there. Awesome. Oh, you can also use air stab to cancel falling momentum as long as you are stabbing downward. If you start falling it too much, you'll enter free fall state and then you can't air stab. So keep that in mind. So like if I want to jump off this cliff, well, there we go. Air stab down, and one more, and there we go. So I just took no fall damage. And you can also kind of skate against the ground if you do it at a certain angle. Like if I'm air stabbing and I kind of do it like that, sometimes it'll launch you and you'll just skate across the ground. Speedrunners will eventually figure this tech out, but it's not really for me to figure out. Also, when there's random bandits that you're not doing for a quest, just kill them. Oh, so that was a good guy, actually. Oh, they're ganging him. Oh, no. But yeah, there we go. And we're going to get to the next objective now. Now, one thing to note when you kill bandits is that the loot isn't always on the corpse. Sometimes their weapons, their boots, their shirts will go flying off of them randomly in the grass. Alright? So, just keep that in mind. And again, they have copper pouches, they'll have random consumables, and so you want to have a lot of inventory space when you farm these guys. And we're not really farming them right now. I just happened to cross some of them. Also, this is like, what's going on there? Just a couple bozos crossing the street, I guess. But yeah, they just have random loot on them. So let's see, what is that? That is a field pack. that someone dropped. It says steel on it, so I better not pick that up because these guys will get pissy. Oh, and I'm pretty sure the bandits here are a quest. And if you kill them now, then when you go to do the quest, it'll just automatically turn it in for you. It's kind of funny that way, but I don't exactly remember where that quest is. I think it's like over on this side of the map. I'll figure it out. All right, so now we're gonna head up here to the Lioncrest Watchtower, and you can just fast travel back to town and then walk, and that's a much quicker way to do it. Now, before we go to that watchtower, let's get a little boost of damage. And, yeah, so if we go back to, oh, where's it at? We already turned this guy's stuff in. We need to turn in the lumber now. So back over here. There we go.
I can't use this hammer anymore.
Let's see. Hand over. Now you can fix your hammer, dude. Now, we have to read his flyer as part of the, I don't know, the quest here. So we're going to go ahead and go in the menu, Ternally Smithy flyer. Go ahead and examine it, and it didn't work. So if you go out, like, go into a more spacious area, that'll kind of fix it. It's kind of buggy, but just try it again. Just move your character, maybe crouch down a bit, jump, pull out a sword. Okay, let's see if that unbugged it. It's buggy. There we go. Now it worked. And again, you gotta sit there and stare at it, absorb it. Alright, and it's just teaching you how to refine. That's pretty much it. That's all we care about, right? Woo! Alright. And then refine the Becker Shield, alright? So we got a Becker Shield as a reward, alright? So we're going to talk to him now. There we go. He's going to go to refinement, and that Becker Shield, where is it? There it is. So it's 10 timber. Again, that's why we chop these trees. Alright, and then we're going to hit R to refine it, skip the cutscene. There we go, we did it. Wow, cool. Alright, look at that. Now it's a +1 defense. Now, right outside of the smithy is this grindstone, and this is going to buff our weapons. So we're just going to go ahead and do the reinforce here. And it's free, it doesn't, like, do anything. It's just a tedious task you got to do so your number go up. But it goes up by a pretty good amount, okay? So there we go. You can see now our sword has +5 attack power, which is really nice. Now, that's not permanent. It will eventually go away as we chop dudes up, but it's going to, you know, be good enough. All right, now it's time to go ahead and make your way to the Lioncrest Watchtower. This bandit, there's more bandits here, so they might swarm you a bit, but they're just as easy to kill as the ones we've already dealt with. The other ones were technically higher level, so this one is a cakewalk. Alright, and same strategy applies. Run in, hold Q, hold left click, right click. They're all dead. So there's Q, and then just combo them, and you'll see that they're getting one-shotted, basically. And you're just knocking them all on their ass. And remember, every time you use your Q little blade thing, they are blinded, which means they are temporarily stunned. As long as you do the combo quick enough, you can basically chain this, and they're all dead. Like, that's all we had to do. Alright, so what the game wants you to do is use these fire braziers to light your arrow and shoot the vines through the door. That's fine and dandy, but you can just use your sword and use your little laser beam, and that'll catch the vines on fire instead, and this saves you an arrow, so there you go. Just think of it as like a magnifying glass of sorts. Alright, so yeah, that way you don't waste an arrow, I know, right? Oh, by the way, if you ever see a tripwire trap like the one in front of me, you can just cut it. And as long as your character model doesn't touch it, it won't go off. And yes, I know this tower has like a bunch of random stuff and a whole lot of loot. And also, these traps aren't that deadly. Like, if I just walk into this... Oh, no. It's just a saw blade. Oh, dang. Oh, what? But yeah. You can see there's a bunch of weapons on the wall and stuff. Like, our character cannot use great hammers and or great axes. You can, of course, loot these, and they're going to be random per playthrough, but you can sell them if you want, but we're good on money. Alright, so if you're stuck at what to do here, there is a helmet on the ground called a Vision. The game even prompts you to hold control to look, and you want to pick this up. This is mandatory for a whole lot of crap. And he puts it right over the boot. Then the game explains how to use it. And so essentially what it does is whenever you hold out your lantern, you can find and get random memories. and then you go to your armor, and you go to this thing, and then you would hit play and watch the memory. So right now we just have the Zone recollection here that we have to watch, and that's going to explain what the helmet does and how it works. Yep. Oh, and by the way, there is a hole in the roof, so there's more loot up top. And, you know, you can climb the walls or whatever, or you can just, you know, dash up there. Woo! Look at that. We're so cool. Yeah, more loot to be had. Alright, now, obviously you talk to the girl and you're following the quest line, I assume. Alright, I'm not going to make a video clip of every little, like, step. Oh, follow the cat up here. Right, but, this increased speed button doesn't seem to do anything for me. But we have the next puzzle, and that is you gotta turn the dials. Also, we gotta learn how to focus now, too, real quick. Which is very important, because now we can get our spirit back out of combat very quickly. Or not as slow as before. And that's gonna let us do more jumps more often. Now, when you look at this puzzle, you may think, oh, I need to twist the wheels. Nope, wrong. You gotta punch them. There you go. By punching that one, it pops the other ones near it out. So, obviously, all you gotta do is, you can figure this one out yourself. Unless you're like 5 years old, which you shouldn't be playing this if you're 5, probably. I don't know. 5-year-old me would kick this game's ass, but, yeah, anyway. That's the puzzle solution, and what do you know? We got another skill point and a fast travel point. Very cool. Also, this quest description, approach the child. I don't know about that one, game, but I mean, I get it. This is a little spirit kid or whatever. Alright, so the game wants us to go back to town, and yeah, that's going to be our first boss fight. And it's, you know, you pretty much sign up to do it. It's not like you just walk in there and, oh no, crap, I'm stuck in a battle. But what we're going to do now is grab some more vital waypoints, farm some materials, and upgrade our gear. It's a really easy boss fight. It's super easy. But, you know, we just like to really break the game here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of go right over here in this direction. And we're going to get the fast travel for this area. So we're just going to stand on the circle. And again, it's, well, it's a little hard to see because the big question mark. There we go. Now is it gone? Awesome. But yeah, this is the Kilnden Workshop, and this is the fast travel. Now, I want to talk about this fast travel right here, Kilnden Workshop, and that this is an amazing place to farm insects, especially stamina insects. Alright, there's also blackberries right behind that you can pick if you need those for wines and fruits, but like we have grasshoppers, there's a whole, like just running through these little narrow trails. And again, you can use your lantern to see like all of the insects, especially at night. There's just so many. You can just go loot crazy here. But you don't really need insects or alchemy until late game, honestly. And you don't really need it at all. It's just a win more kind of potion you can drink. But yeah, these little paths, there are just tons of insects. Now, obviously, right now there's not, well, because it's not nighttime. But like you go up here, and there's rare ones too. There's lots of rare ones. There's the black millipede. There's the 88 butterfly wing. Basically, all the in-game and stamina-based potion insects are here. Just come back at night, generally. Alright, so the next part is we're going to go about right over here. I know the map is not fully explored yet. Alright, and you're going to come across this little checkerboard-looking area. And yeah, it's a little cold, but that's okay. Our character won't die. But yeah, you'll see it's like right where this little lake thing is. It looks like a fat chicken leg with a boot. Just go directly west until you see this checkerboard thing. So let me give you the solution to the puzzle, alright? So over here is the little thing that we need to collect for the waypoint. And I hate that it's cold. Oh, I almost messed up. So there's a white stone here. We're going to pick up this white stone, alright? And try not to mess up these stones at all, because if you do, you have to fast travel away and come back. But we're going to put the white stone, and let me kind of walk you through this, alright? So right now we are facing northwest, right on this thingy. We're going to turn to our left. And now we are facing, I don't know, what is this? Kind of southwest? We're going to turn a little bit more, and there's a spot right here that's missing a stone. Okay? I know. And we're going to put it right there in the middle, and we're going to hold Alt, and then push R to drop it right there in the center. And that should do it. There we go. And that should solve the puzzle, as long as we didn't disturb the stones. And there we go. We did it. All right. So there's a lot more to this area than meets the eye, but I'm going to grab this right away before I mess it up, because this is a very good farm spot. Probably one of my favorite early game farm spots. Alright, so first off, there are these creatures on the ground. You see this little dirt mound? That's actually a creature. And you can kill these over and over and over for a while, and then they won't respawn for about 1 in-game week. These things drop abyss cores, which are used to, you know, craft gear upgrades late game, or at least chapter 5 and beyond. So now that we have the waypoint, you can mess up the stones, but they're like little crab creatures, and they drop these little shine berries, which are just a fun item. I haven't really found a use for them yet. I have no idea what these are used for, and Google doesn't either. But this one didn't drop an abyss core, all right, but this one might. So we'll just go ahead and chop it up real quick. There we go. And there, it dropped an abyss core. So right now it's a question mark item, but that's what it is. All right, abyss cell, my bad. Also, there's some coral mushrooms around. So again, mushrooms being kind of annoying to find. We got coral mushrooms. All right. Now also, if you just want to, like, you know, scare the little critters out of hiding if you have bad eyesight, you can just, you know, shine your blade and they'll all get up and start skittering away in panic. Alright, but what you can do is, if you want to farm these little critters, is you just fast travel right back to the Abyss Crescent, even if you're standing on it, and it will refresh their positioning. And you can kill them a bunch, not infinitely, but a bunch. Eventually they'll stop spawning, but as you go play the game and come back later, they'll come back too. Now secondly, right here at the teleport thing, if you gaze across the river, there are 2 spots where you can hunt really, really good. And this is going to be where we grind for a bit. Spot number 1 is right over there. There is a bunch of deer. And then over on this side is also a bunch of deer. There's also clams along the shoreline here for some reason. That's a river. I don't know why there's clams, but yeah. So I hate that it's nighttime. It's kind of hard to show you when the screen is so dark. But we're going to be using our flying stab attack to hunt these. And so we're going to need to spend more... Oh, no, I didn't want to put that on. I hit escape and it just auto-casted. Yeah, I don't care. Alright, let's go to inventory. And if you hold escape, you can use mouse wheel to scroll. But yeah, we have 4 of these bad boys, and we want to level up our stamina until it starts costing 2 artifacts. So right now it's 1 artifact, 1 artifact, 2 artifacts, we stop, okay? Because we want to go to health now and put 1 into health and then 1 into health. There we go. Alright, cool. So yeah, we have a lot more HP now. I didn't mean to use the grabby arm. But the way we are going to hunt the deer is we are going to, from the sky, we're going to stab downwards into them. We're going to shine the blade and do a combo. I know that sounds hard to do, but it's pretty simple. If we just run at them, they will outrun us. If we shoot them with a bow, it'll waste a bunch of arrows and take forever. But if we land on top of them, we can cut a bunch of them down and then skin them, okay? And let me get ready to show you what that looks like. Alright, so again, we're going to jump, pump the ground here, hold shift, right click, stab, and what the hell was that? I got, like, flung into the ground. What kind of glitch was that? That is weird. That is super weird. What in the... I'm so disoriented, it's like I got Superman slammed. Well, fun bug, whatever. Let's try again, though. Alright. And it's cold, so our stamina is affected because it's nighttime. During the day, your stamina won't be affected. Anyway, we're going to jump, sword, you know, stab. And it keeps diving me into the ground. What the hell? I'm not sure why that's happening. Maybe I should restart my game or something. Alright, well I killed some deer off camera, and you can see it's nighttime, they're hard as hell to find, but if you look at our mini-map, our radar, you'll see little white X's, and that's where the corpses are. Now, if you walk too far away from a deer corpse, it will despawn, and we need to farm a lot of these, because we need a lot of hide, we need a lot of meat, we need a lot of bones, alright? And we don't just need thin hide, we need thick hide, we need the medium, all of it, alright? And it depends on what kind of deer you kill. Sometimes it's just the females, sometimes it's babies. But yeah, we want to just kill as much as possible here and skin as much as possible. And what we're going to be doing, again, I hate to show you at nighttime because I know it's hard to see in the video. But we're just going to fast travel, and there's one in the water here. Sometimes the ones that die in the water you can't grab because it'll like cancel the animation when you get too deep. But yeah, we are going to be skinning a lot of deer. But what you do is you open your map and you fast travel back to the crescent, which I didn't want me to put a marker there, but yeah, we'll just fast travel back. It'll enter a loading screen, and then the deer will be back. And you do this over and over and over again. Alright, so let's do the combo. We're near the deer. Get my cursor back in. We want to go for the big buck, alright? So there we go. Stab into stab. And they're going to start running away, so we're going to do our sword combo now and just cut as many of them down as we can. And you can see there, the big bucks got away, but boy, we got a bunch of them, right? So again, just continuously do that, and you're gonna have a lot of resources. All right, you can see that it's daytime, and look at all the freaking deer. I wish I could have a way to zoom in there, but yeah, we're just gonna run at them, jump, not fly, that scares them. Do the double jump, do some sword stabs, right in the middle, use the blinding light, and again, there'll be deer caught in headlights. Yeah, we're blowing some into the water there, but you can see, I mean, look at this big farm right here. Oh, what? That is a massive amount of meat. And they're all like frozen and stuff, so we can just sit here and wallop on them. I don't know why they bugged out, but hey, free deer meat's free deer meat. Yeah. Alright, so after a very short amount of farming time, we have like 160 something meat here. We've also got another 90 stack of lean meat. And look at all the bone. We got a lot of small bones here. We've got short hair hide. We've also got thin hide. Yeah, we're rolling, and we only have 13 more item slots free, so we're pretty well farmed. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go over to this mysterious energy, which is another waypoint. I know. Also, sometimes when you skin deer, you can carry the carcass. I don't really understand the point. You can't like process it or anything, and I am going the wrong way. But yeah, let's hold out our sword and stop running, and it's up there. You can see the shimmer through the clouds. That is where the waypoint is. Also, more deer. Oh boy, I think I've got enough though. And there's no, oh, there is a buck with them over there. I could definitely chase that down, but no need. Alright, here is the waypoint. We're going to stand on it, and this one also has a function, okay? So I'm going to teleport it. So this is where it's at on the map. This one was the one we just got with the stones, and we look across the river, and we hunt the deer here, and we hunt the deer here, and just right up the mountain is the next one. And let me show you its function, because it's very similar. And instead of hunting deer, it didn't load, or yeah, it did, yeah. You spawn right next to goats. So we gotta pull out the sword. There we go. Now the goats are a little interesting because you can kind of funnel them into a spot. Also, they get stunned a lot easier by your blinding light thing. But yeah, goats, they drop horns instead of antlers, and they still drop small bones, and they still drop the same meat. And they still drop the short hair hide. But if you're having trouble with the deer for some reason, you can farm these for meat just as easily. And there is a tactic where you jump above them and you come down to herd them into this narrow walkway right here where the river is. Let me see if I can demonstrate that now. And what they'll do is they're cornered. They can't go in the water, and they won't go up the mountain. So let's see if I can pull it off. But yeah, it's like you land behind them and then you chase them that direction, because they'll always run away from you. That's how they're programmed. So let's see if we can do it. As soon as I can gain control here, as soon as the game lets me move. Alright, so we're gonna... And again, they're already running. Why? Jump, jump, and there we go. Hurt them the other way. Oh no, they're all... Oh, these little goats. And yeah, you can catch them. You can grab them. There you go. And then you can drop them off the cliff. Woo! See you later. Ow. Right? It's fine. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and waste any more of your time trying to herd them into a corner. You kind of saw it kind of sort of work. Alright, now this waypoint has more stuff to it than just the damn goats. If you look over here towards the waterfall, there is some shallow water. And not always, but at sometimes in the night or early midnight, this area just is teeming with fish. And let's see if I can find some with the lantern here. And again, you'll see them as lootable. So right there is a fish. And I don't have to, like, use a fishing pole. I can just hold the E button and swim towards it. And some of them are too deep to catch. Like, this is deeper water. But when they swim... Oh, there we go. We got a bass. And if you, the thing with the way the game's programmed is that if you spend too much time here, the fish stop spawning. Okay, so you have to you could overfish it essentially, right? Also, there's bismuth right here. Again, you need lightning to mine this. But oh, see, there's a fish swimming right now. And again, sometimes there's tons of them. Like you can get like 10 to 20 fish. You just sit here in the choke and you hold your E button and you just yoink them up. You don't... I have a lot of heartburn right now, by the way. But yeah, there's a fish right there. And there's little rocks that you can catch your stamina. Because if you run out of stamina while you're swimming, then your character takes a lot of pain. But you can basically just shine the lantern into the water when you see a lootable fish, like right there. You can just go grab it. And this one's near the waterfall, so we managed it's a tench. But the fish, they actually spawn. They don't fall from the waterfall. They just spawn under it. And I tried doing an AFK thing where I, like, you know, spawn camped it with my E button held down, but that didn't work. And, again, sometimes there'll be, like, 20 fish just swimming around, and it's usually the small ones. But they also tend to pile around this little circle area. And what happens is they'll spawn in, and they'll swim around. And, again, you can just sit on these rocks and pick them up. Like, there's one right there, and go ahead and grab that. And, again, this is... Oh, that's a fly. Sometimes there's flies. But whatever. But anyway, you just kind of camp the water here. And what they'll do is they'll start flowing downriver. Like, ooh, a yellow bass, right? And you could also kind of sit here, but there's not really a good safety spot. There we go. We got the bass. Well, there's this log, but the water's gonna... The current's gonna kind of push you downstream, right? But yeah, you can just sit here with your lantern out, and when you see a lootable, you just hold E. Very simple, very, very effective, right? But yeah, it's right now it's kind of a bad example, but again, at certain times this area is just flooded. There's like fish like a school of fish. I'm not joking. Right now it's just, you know, a few little tiddly bits here and there. But I'm not sure what causes them to and not spawn. I think it might be time of day. It could just be the game's engine being wonky sometimes. But yeah, and you don't have to use this specific body of water. It's just that this one is right next to a waypoint, so it works. But yeah, come here at like 12 o'clock and, you know, early morning, whenever everything resets in the game, and there'll just be tons of fish. Now, the problem with fish is you have to go to each one in the inventory, hold spacebar, and then click clean and let go, and then that's going to give you fish fillets. Sometimes 1, sometimes 3. So yeah, we got 3. We're getting 3 from the bass, but like the tench is like a 1 because it's a smaller 2, I guess. I don't know. Yellow bass, how much do they give? 3 and some copper, right? So we got 16 fish fillets now. But again, it's way easier just to hunt deer and way easier to hunt goats. And the fish food that you can cook, yeah, it's slightly better in some regards. But if you ever need a fish, you don't need a fishing pole. Just come yoink them out of the water with your hands. Alright, so with all this leather, we're going to now refine our gear. And this is why we're wearing all leather. we're going to refine it into even better gear, giving us a lot more defense. So we're going to go to Ternali here, and we are going to push the smithy button, and then we're going to go to refinement. Alright, now, we're not going to refine our weapon, because as you do the story, you're going to get a better weapon than this, so there's no reason to refine it. Now, you may be wondering, what kind of shield should we refine? And the answer is, right now, you're just going to stick with the Grey Wolf wooden shield. The reason why is medium and heavy shields have different attack styles, which slow you down, and we're gonna get better shields through the story, but this one is stuck in your inventory forever, and it upgrades just fine, so we're gonna go ahead and upgrade it, because sometimes you just want like a different kind of shield. But yeah, this is just gonna buff your defense. And you can see that I only got one upgrade on it. It wants 15 timber. That means I gotta chop more trees. It's not super important, but there you go. Also, I wouldn't worry about refining the bow. Bows are pretty weak early game, and they take a lot of investment to really come online. So what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade all of our armor that we're currently wearing, which is all leather. Now, once you upgrade an item enough, it's going to start wanting abyss artifacts, and we don't want to use those until our stats are really boosted up, and we don't want to waste those on starter gear anyway, so don't use any abyss artifacts for your upgrades. You don't need them. Now, your earrings and your necklaces and stuff all use the small bones, and after a while they require azurite. So you'll notice that once I upgrade this copper earring, it's going to give me health regeneration, which is okay. But I would upgrade all of your other stuff up to the point where it requires azurite, and then choose which bonus you want. Also, you don't need to upgrade the dagger, and the reason why is you only use this whenever you're stabbing a boss after a grapple, or if you take a hostage and then stab them, which they're usually dead anyway. And most harder enemies won't let you take them as a hostage to stab them in the first place. But yeah, the dagger isn't really something you just equip and can swing around, unfortunately. Alright, so you can see that we need a thick hide to upgrade our leather armor, which you can go buy from a vendor or get through skinning, which I didn't get any this time for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but the tanner is, let's see, that's provisioner, grocer. Oh, they're over here, the tannery. Yeah, so we can go there and we can get, another +2 defense. Alright, and we need to do the same rotations through the shops, so we need to buy all the water.
I'm sure you'll like it.
Let's see, what else do they have here at this one? No, not much, okay. But we need a lot of kind of grain. That could be lentils, that could be oats, barley, all that kind of fun stuff. So, go right down here to the grocery guy. And we can buy a lot more oats, or grain, rather, from this dude. Look at him hold his apple.
What can I get for you?
Alright, so, again, buy out all the water. Buy out the barley, because that's a grain.
Is top notch.
Oats, because that's a grain. And what you can do now is you can go peruse inside and buy out all of the things. So if I hold the lantern, like we have a harvest sack, and again, this is like, let's just pick one up here, and that would be beans. I mean, beans technically work. Flat barley basket, we can pick this up, and that is barley times 2, right? Harvest sack, let's see what this one is. That one is beans again. But yeah, you go inside and there's just a bunch more of those all kind of stacked along the walls. Especially like over here. There we go, harvest sack. Go ahead and just grab that, and that's, well, that one's parsley, but this is the side that I'm talking about here. And again, these are just like 15 copper each, which is nothing. So that's barley. We got more barley, and you kind of want to keep up your grains with how much water you have, and try to keep that even. But yeah, so we got plenty of grains now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna craft a whole bunch of healing items now. We're gonna go over to the butcher. Alright, and we technically don't know the recipe to craft what we're going to craft, but if we do it 3 times, our character will figure it out. So we're going to hit the improvise button, and we're going to put 1 meat, 1 grain, which could be wheat, lentils, oats, barley, it doesn't matter, and then 1 water, alright, and then we're going to make that. And we have to do this 3 times, and this creates what's called a clear soup. And you're not supposed to learn this until after you get your own little hideout, but we do that 3 times. And then once you do it 3 times, it'll say clear soup is now a known recipe, so we can back out and back in, which I could have just untoggled it, I guess. My bad, whatever. But now when we push the Z or C button, we can go to field pot cooking, and now we have clear soup as an option, which is, you know, we got water, just any kind of grain, which is lentils, peas, beans, barley, wheat, oats, buckwheat, corn, and then any kind of meat. So again, we're just gonna pick. We got 19 oats, 56 water, 187 meat, and then we're gonna make, and it's gonna ask how much. We want to make as much as possible. There we go. And again, these are our healing items that we will spam when we need to. Not for bandits, but for boss fights. But now you can see that we have like almost 60 clear soups healing us for 180 each, and our health pool is 450, so this is slightly, it's a little bit less than half of our HP per heal, and you could pop these like every 1 second off cooldown, so not too bad. Alright, so before we do the Matthias boss fight, we're actually going to teleport back to this little Abyss Crescent, and we're going to buff our armor. So we're going to go right here where you can see like a little twinge of the road here, just northwest a bit. We're just going to go right up there, and there's an anvil we can use. But yeah, here we are. There's this big tower. It's called the Torchlight Beacon, and this is what it looks like. And there's just an anvil here, and when you walk up to it, you can hit repair. Doesn't cost you anything, no fees, and your character will just doink some metal plates from Call of Duty or something, I don't know. And now, whenever we look at our gear, we have reinforcement, defense +5, defense +2, defense +3. This is why we got the damn leather helmet, okay? Yeah, so all in all, our defense is pretty damn high. You may wonder, why is our attack power so low? And that's because it only shows it when you have your weapon drawn. So now my weapon's drawn. Now my attack power is here at 34. So we're in the 30s with, you know, 150 bonus HP from when we started. So we're looking pretty good. We just need more stamina. We'll be all set. Also, if you care about this kind of stuff, there is a rich red dye, so you can, and these things are annoying to craft, but you can find one at the top of the tower here. It is counted as stealing. But if you want to change the way your armor looks, there you go. Now, just to point out, if we go right here to this Shadow Whisper's Cave, or Whisper Cave, there is a cauldron in there, so you can do alchemy. However, early game, I haven't found a good use for alchemy. The stats are all very crappy. The duration is stupid. Like, oh, no stamina usage for 6 seconds. Okay, what am I going to do? Stab the air a couple extra times? No thanks. And you have to gather like 10 bugs and like 5 other things and a bottle, and it's a real pain in the butt system. Super late game, there's some okay potions, and they're not game breaking like in other open world games, unfortunately. But yeah, right here, free cauldron. You don't need to buy one from the furniture store whenever you have your hideout. Just go there, and there's also a fast travel right there, but it's not the kind that really gives you a stat point. Alright, so with all of these buffs, we can absolutely kick Matthias' ass, so just teleport back to town, and let's get into a street fight. Alright, so we're going to go to the quest marker, and Matthias is the big boy in blue there. And, well, my character kind of spurred out for a sec. We can get it proper. No, I don't want to point a bow. I'm trying to talk to the guy. There we go. So he does something called pump kick, and as you play, he has 2 life bars. He has a blue one and a red one. And once you get him into the red life bar, you'll learn it automatically, but you can just let him do it to you like this, and just, you know, let him kick you in the face, and then there you go. Now we have pump kick. So you just hold your F button, and then you can pump kick him too. Yeah, you know, he's okay. He's not dealing too much damage, but the easy way to beat him is hold Q, and then do your combo, and you will just chunk the ever-living crap out of his HP. Look at that. We chunked him down to half in like 1 attack. And again, this blinds him, this stuns him, right? Now, obviously, if he's in the middle of an attack, it won't work. But again, you can also start. What I want you to do, because this is your first real fight, and this is an easy fight, is I want you to get used to perfect parrying, blocking like that, and just positioning in general, and the feel of combat, right? Learning how to lock on, learning how to keep the camera like where you need it to, and all that kind of stuff. Don't just kick this guy's ass immediately. use him as a training dummy. Use him as practice for actual fights. See, it's not too hard, right? But yeah, because we can just do this over and over and over, and he's gonna have iframes. He's gonna have super armor because he's a boss, whereas regular enemies don't get super armor. But you can also just try out all your combos. You can try out all sorts of different things on him. But when you knock him down, he's gonna come in. There's like a little quick time event. There we go. It's gonna have us push F, I think. I forget exactly what it wants us to push. I'm not gonna push anything. I want to see what happens when I fail. Okay, it kicks him anyway. He can't fail. Push F for fail, right? But yeah. Anyway, so his second form is the exact same. There's again, it's an easy fight. I'm alt-tabbed, so I wasn't even in the game for that. Alright, so after the Matthias fight, you can actually go and buy the armor set he's wearing now from Rhett. And it's not that great. There's a reason why we don't opt to do this. You'll notice that, look, the plate armor is 6 defense, our leather armor is 9 defense. Now, if you want to refine the plate, you can, but it's going to cost iron and copper and other materials that are harder to get. Whereas we can farm leather materials way easier and faster. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a little update to the shop. Now, before we go down here to fight the bandits, if you go to the notice board, there will be a quest, and it's kind of annoying to get it to show up, so I'm going to show you how to do that. You go to Journal, and then you go to Faction Quest, and you go to Hernand Commissions, and you'll get Annabelle's Request, and then click this, and that will toggle it so you can see where it's at. And we're doing this because we want, well, a free fishing rod, but we also want the medium bag so that we can have more damn inventory space. And she is located right up top here, which you might have been to earlier. And you could fast travel from this Abyss Crescent, or you could just, you know, air stab your way there. It's whatever you want to do. Alright, so the quest wanted us to capture a tench, and boy, there's a lot of fish down there. There is a whole, well, there was a bunch, and then I looked away, and oh, they all spread out. But yeah, just dive in. We got a pond loach, more pond loaches. That one's too deep to grab, and they run away from you too. Fish just run away, but look at that. We got 3 pond loaches, 4. This is speed fishing at its finest, right? But yeah, just swim around, and tenches, you know, they're all over the place. You could also follow the quest marker if you want, and you could go like all the way up here for some reason. But mainly what I was going to suggest is once you do the bandits down here, you just swim around here and yoink fish out of the river. But, you know, this place is just as good. You can try up here. If you don't get one after like a few minutes, then you can, you know, go do the bandits, I suppose. Anyway, if you can't find the fish in the usual spot, and I don't know if it's based on time or day of the month or however the game system is, I think they just honestly randomly spawn fish. We're going to go up here, and you can be guaranteed to catch one very quickly, but near this cave, right about there, is a fast travel point, so we're going to go there. Alright, here we are at the waypoint, and I want you to take note that this specific waypoint, there is minerals right here against the wall, and you may be wondering, how do we mine minerals that are up on the wall? Because you can't mine while you're holding on to a wall, and we're going to be getting a drilling arm later in the game that will allow us to do that, but we're not going to get it right now, and we don't need to mine these right now. We're pretty well off. Now, do note that we're near this cave, and this is where you would do alchemy. The cave is, well, it's right around here. Even though you can't really see it from this angle, if you proceed south, you'll see the cave opening right in here. And there's really nothing too crazy to get in here right now. And since we're not really doing early game alchemy, there's no point. But there is a recipe to make one of those revival pill items. It should be just right here on the table. Yeah, right here. So that is the Palmer pill recipe. And you got a couple Palmer pills as well, which is useful later if you're struggling against a boss fight. Though I recommend just learning the boss fights and then, you know, playing them perfectly, rather than constantly dying and kind of, you know, using items as a crutch to get your way through. There's also a yellow dye on the table, that way you don't have to craft one if you want to make your character look yellow for some reason. And do note, this is the cauldron, this is what you use for alchemy, and Once more recipes are posted online, you can just kind of finesse them. We already have the proper farm spots to make them, it's just they're not really that useful this early game. Also, later in the game, if you want to hunt ducks with magic or explosive arrows, this would be where you do it, because you just shoot an explosive arrow and blow all of these up, and there you go. Though their loot sometimes will sink to the bottom, even though technically in real life ducks won't sink when killed in the water. I know, sad day. But yeah, this is where you would farm them. By the way, if you go on this little island, there is a free fishing pole, but we don't need a fishing pole because you can just jump in the water and catch fish manually with your hands. Alright, so we swam in the middle of the water and we picked up a tench. This is for the fishing quest, and we can go turn that in at any time. It's all the way down here, and we've already got the fast travel for it, so it's real quick. It's also between this bandit quest as well, but we want to grab some more fast travel points while we're up here. Alright, so the next waypoint is going to be like this. We're going to go from the gold leaf trading post, and we're going to go up until we intersect this part of the mountain. So it's going to line up something about right there. There we go. Just above the T and lined up with the house. Just put your marker there, and there's a fast travel. Alright, so I'm a little bit off. It's actually right here if you line up the house and I guess the R in Three Saints. But I was close enough. Now, you'll notice that there is this Quarry. And this is one of our major farm spots so that we can get a whole lot of skill points. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works. And what I want you to do is unbind food, preferably, if you can. Just kind of, you know, don't use your food. Right now I have it set to fish board, so I'm going to have it set to fine meat instead, because you don't want to waste your food. You want to just die. You don't want to revive or use your pills or anything. You just want to come down here, fight as much as you can, and then die. Or not die if you just want to keep going. But here's how this area works. We won't complete this area because the boss is technically alive, and we don't have the quest to spawn the boss in yet. But you can see this area is just filled with enemies. Also, there are random explosive barrels all over the place, and every time you die, those barrels are going to respawn. Let's see if it'll let me shoot one from this far. I guess not. Dang. Oh, yeah, there we go. Boom. Right, now we don't get credit for that because we're too far away, unfortunately, but yeah. As you fight, you will be AoEing, and these barrels will kill you, and it's fine. Now, I want you to notice something. On the left side of the screen is a 100% bar right above my watermark. This is youtube.com on it, okay? So, as you kill, that percentage will go down. And not right now, but at some point, we're going to farm this until it reads 0%. And when it does, this area will no longer give abyssal skill point thing. So right now, we're at 0. And I'm just going to start killing, and it's this. We kill the same way as we always do. And yeah, some of these guys have drill arms. You can't loot them, though. But if they're by themselves, remember, you can walk up and do a little assassination if you want. Well, we got to get closer. Why isn't it letting me? I don't know why it wouldn't let me assassinate him, but yeah, you can just kill the regular guys. Now, if you see this, remember, if you see spiky guys on your mini-map, those are elites, and they drop good loot, so make sure you kill them. But other than that, just do your combo, pull out your blinding sword, and then hold left click, and then hold right click, and there you go. And just rinse and repeat that. And you'll notice we're at 98.4% now. Also, this area has prisoners and slaves, which if you get near them, you will free them. And that helps your reputation with the town nearby. Also, don't be afraid of friendly fire. Also, I'm kind of stuck on the cliff getting stabbed. Oh, too good. Alright, but yeah, just sit here and kill enemies. Now, you don't have to do this right now. I'm going to do it for a little bit, and I'm going to show you how many of these abyssal skill points I can get. And remember, while you're doing this, to loot. Now, the reason we're not doing it right now... Look, I already have 2 of these, right? So there we go. We got 2, and I've only been killing for like a minute. So yeah, you can really stack these up. But the reason we're not doing it right now is because we lack inventory space. And we need a lot more space to farm this area. But there are some nice gear upgrades. If you want to go ahead and grab them, if you had bad luck with the shops, you can, again, you're going to find random weapons that they drop, random pieces of gear, and just all sorts of just random loot. So kill away, and when you die, there's no punishment. You respawn literally right outside to continue killing. Though, just do note that I'm about to get slashed here. Just do note that all the bodies that you kill when you die, they despawn, so yeah, and these guys are endless. They will constantly come at you. There is no break, so you just have to loot when you can, and don't feel bad if you can't loot everything. Oh, I guess the regular mobs can drop the mining knuckle drill. Well, there you go. You don't even have to fight the boss now. Now, another fun note is if you like stealth executions, you can put on their armor when it drops, and that's going to disguise you as them, and whenever you leave and come back, you can just walk around amongst them, and yeah, just take them out. As long as no one sees you kill someone, you can just chain executions, though it's slow. It's way faster just to aggro them all up, and then just AoE dump on them. Alright, so I've got the meter down to 65%, and again, this only took a few minutes, and I'm at 3 skill points. So I think I'm going to sit here, maybe grind to 4, but nah, let's continue with the main story quest. Alright, we are down here now to turn in Annabelle's request for the fish, and we give it to an assistant for some reason. I find that so weird.
Just look at this,
but there we go, that's going to give us inventory space and a dried fish, oh boy. And located conveniently nearby is another street vendor.
Hello, traveler.
And you know the drill. We're going to buy out all of their ores. We're going to buy out all of their water.
Why don't you pick up
and
some more?
we're going to sell
Enjoying the day?
loot from that quarry if you decided to do it. For instance, every one of these disguises, and you could keep one if you want. I don't really care. We can just sell this. This is 3.5 silver each, and we only farm this for a few minutes. We can get rid of the mining knuckle drills too, or you can keep one if you want. I got a necklace here, some meat, and yeah, you know, just some other random slop as well. Let's see. Also, once you read a recipe, you can sell the poster if you want. You don't have to hold on to it. So there we go. And just anything else that we don't really need anymore, we should get rid of. Like, well, I don't know, might keep that around, but. Yeah, we're going to eventually clean up this inventory. Alright, now we're going to go across the street to the Springtide Mill and take care of those bandits. After clearing out the bandits, it wants us to go to the notice board, and we're just going to read all of the pieces of paper here. So, again, a little tedious, but you got to do it. Next up, we have 4 quests to do. We have Trial After Trial, there's The Man Trapped in the Mire, Missing Companion, and Secrets Hidden in the Dark, and you'll notice these all give medium bags as rewards. By the way, I didn't point this out earlier, but if you hold Alt next to your horse, you can pet your horse, and you can pet your horse and level it up to 3. Now, leveling up your horse doesn't really do much right now, and once you get more stamina, you can replace this with a legendary horse. But if you want to sit here and pet it and level it up, it only goes up to 3 through petting. You have to level it up further by riding it around, which I haven't been doing because I've just been, you know, air dashing with air stabs around the world instead of riding the damn horse like normal. Now, if you want to know the most efficient way to loot all these bandits you have to kill, just look for the little white X's on your mini-map, and just hold E and run over those white X's with your cursor. Not even looking at the game world, just looking at the mini-map, and just kind of hold E and skirt around, and you'll just vacuum them all up. It's not the best looting. It's not the worst one either. But there we go. We just looted like 20 bandits in 20 seconds. Also, hey, an NPC that has a matching hat. Look at that. Oh, and as you do these quests, your inventory is going to fill up with really crappy rewards with like inferior foods. So just hit up the vendor and get rid of them. I have my inventory sorted by date, like with the arrow pointed upwards. So all the newest stuff is going to arrive here on the bottom. So I know that, like, I don't need the bandit armor. I don't need this necklace. We do want bloodstone, of course. That is a crafting material. And the tarnish ring, don't need it because we already have our rings. We got, you know, a great axe we can't use. Another axe that we don't need, and so on and so forth. Like toasted grains, who cares? We have way better food than this. Grilled fruit, we don't need it. But yeah, just sell literally everything, you know, as you loot these bandits and do these quests. Now, when you get to this quest here called Kidnapped Healer, you're actually, instead of just like beelining it here, and yeah, you could teleport here, that way you don't have to climb mountains, you could just go straight from the road, but that's fine. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to go here. Remember, we have the ability to leap over mountains with our air stab, so traversal is literally easy as hell. And don't worry about the guild house or anything, just go right here, there is a fast travel point to get. Alright, so this is where the fast travel is. I was 9 meters off on my X, but yeah, it's right in there. Let me clear out the question mark real quick. There we go. That way you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, right there, lining up with this road and kind of lining up with the third notch on this mountain here. Now, when you get to the camp with Shakatu, the little gremlin goblin dude, I want you to take note that this waypoint, when jumping up and over the mountains, is very close to an anvil location. And you're going to be using anvils a lot before boss fights, before any kind of big farming events, because this is, well, I'm in the middle of a quest right now, but you would use this to reinforce your armor so your defense is maxed out. Alright, so you're going to main story quest up to the point where it wants you to fight a Hornsplitter. And while this guy is a real easy fight and he's a complete pushover, especially with how powerful our character is, we don't want to enter Chapter 3 yet because there's still plenty of stuff around the map to do and advance our character with. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get some better armor options. Not that we really need it, but it's just nice to have. So what you're going to do is from here, not from the waypoint, but from up here, you're going to travel west, and then we're going to travel down to here. But if you try to cut this way, you end up hitting this village, and they won't let you in unless you do a quest, and the quest is like all the way over here. It's a real pain in the ass, so we're just not going to mess with that right now, but we're going to go to this location. Alright, so right here is a street vendor. You're going to obviously buy some iron and some water, and then what you're going to do is you're going to enter this house. It will take a key, so if you don't have a key, go to a shady vendor or kill some bandits and loot them. They should have keys on them, but you're going to go ahead and unlock this door. And wait for the door to shut, put on a mask, which you should have plenty of by now from killing bandits. And right here on this bookshelf, as soon as you enter, there is a Leather Armors of the World Volume 2. Go ahead and yoink that, and while you wait for the crime timer to go away, I'm going to take off the mask. We're going to read the book. And this is going to teach us Tier 2 leather recipes. And so what this means is that we don't have to wear the boot on our head anymore. We can get a real hat for once. So yeah, and a bunch of other stylish armors if you want, though you don't have to upgrade. I would only upgrade the helmet for now, but it does require heavy leather or heavy hide, which you should be buying from the shops. You can hunt bears, but they only drop one at a time, and the fight takes like 10 food because they're beefy. They have a lot of HP, and we don't have a quick way to kill them right now due to our low DPS. We have very big AoE for low-level zones, but we don't have very good single target damage per second. So anyway, we read the book, and yeah, now we can go replace our hat. So we're gonna go ahead and teleport all the way back to town and craft us a new leather helmet. Now, while you're here, because it should be a new day from all the questing that you've done, it's time to, you know, buy out the shopkeepers. So go to the tannery. We're gonna go ahead and buy out the material. So just buy the sturdy hide and thick hide. You can buy the other stuff if you want. I went ahead and did it because it's cheap. But yeah, make sure you buy this out. Then go to the grocer, buy out all their water. And you can buy some oats and barley too. I'm gonna go ahead and buy both.
You won't regret
So
it.
oats, barley, and there's more to buy if we want to, but I just want to keep a good stock on hand. And then of course we need to, let's see, I believe the butcher has something we also need. Let's go ahead and open her shop.
Take a look at this
Let's see.
marble. Pure perfection.
No, we're good. That's the innkeeper with more water. And then at the butcher, we're using her cooking pot to make more clear soup. And again, you just want to go through all of your materials. So I have 130 meat, 42 water. So that means I need a total of 42, you know, different types of grain. But there we go. So again, just make all of them that you can. While you're in town, don't forget to use the grindstone to refresh your refinement. And now is a good time to do inventory cleanup, so just go to a vendor and sell everything you're not using, like I don't need these 2 beers, and anything that you're just not going to use. Now keep all your refining material, like bloodstones, cloth, animal parts, wood, iron, ores, all of that stuff. But like things that you can pick in the wild, like parsley, we don't need to keep parsley around. We don't need these spider webs. We don't need this legionaries. You can keep it if you're a collector. I don't need this shield. I don't need this, you know, attire or any of this stuff. My old boots, this ring. I don't need any of the, like, all these masks. Just need to keep, like, I'll keep 2 just in case one bugs out. But these trade good items, we can just toss on the floor. Like, There's way better ways to make money than doing trade routes. I don't care about dyeing my armor because it's a single-player game. And recipes, you can actually gift these to certain NPCs for favor, but I haven't found any that give good rewards, so I'm just going to sell it because I don't care. I think it's a waste of time. Alright, now it's time to craft a leather helmet, and now the regular leather helm here, it is, it's 2 defense, but this rabbit mask has days immunity, and it gives you bonus trust gain, alright? They both have 1 slot, so obviously the rabbit leather mask is better, but again, it's uglier, so if you want to run around with a rabbit mask, you can. I'm going to go ahead and do it, alright? So, there we go. And then once you have the rabbit leather mask, or the regular helmet, whichever one you chose, you want to go ahead and refine it. We couldn't refine the leather boot, so we're refining the mask instead. Also, from killing bandits, you will have cloth pieces, which now you can start working on your cloak. Now, whenever you beat the Chapter 2 boss, you do get a decent sword, but it won't have any open sockets to really customize it. And I really recommend trying, if you can, to get the Fallen Kingdom sword. And so, look on the item shop's wall. Unfortunately for me, it's all Glenmore swords. Also look at this rack. This one's also all Glenmore. It's completely random, and I haven't really figured out how to reset them, but I do know that they change. Also, the rack behind Rhett here, you have to go into first-person mode by zooming in your scroll wheel, and then for the top sword, you have to get, like, perfectly at the angle and look at them in first person, and that's how you can kind of reach them. And then, like, for the swords on the bottom, we don't want to lean against the wall, we want to crouch. But yeah, you want to crouch down and get as close as you can there, and let's see, I know there's a Wells sword. Hold on. It's very tricky, but if you can't get it... No, I don't want to lean against the damn wall. If you can't get it, then run around on this side, and then you can try to approach like this, and also, like, there's the Wells sword. And Wells is okay, right? But the Sword of the Fallen Kingdom is just better. Also, note for refining, if you have multiple copies of the same weapon, you can use that as ingredients instead of regular mining material. Anyway, you can upgrade your weapon if you want. It'll make the coming grind a little bit easier. It's not mandatory, or you can save your materials. It's up to you. I just do not recommend using Abyss artifacts to upgrade, though. Alright, and when you're ready, it's time to head back to the Quarry and grind out some Abyssal talent point upgrades. Oh, and by the way, if you're ever wondering how long until your next Abyssal, like, talent point, so on the left of your radar, on the left of your minimap, there is a vertical bar that is yellow. That is your experience bar. That means anytime you kill an enemy, so you can see here, we'll go ahead and just kill this guy real quick, and you'll see that yellow bar just increased by a little bit. So that's how you can tell when you're about to get your next Abyssal. Now, my recommendation is to grind these guys until that yellow bar no longer moves anymore, or when Quarry reaches 0%. And again, do not use your food here. Don't be eating food. You don't need to heal. Let them kill you. If your HP gets low, just let them kill you. You keep all your loot, you keep all your XP, and you'll respawn at full HP, and you can just re-engage them. And they'll all respawn, too. By the way, as you're running around, if you see a thick white circle dot on your minimap, that means that is a hostage you can rescue. Just walk up and bump into them, and then they will get up, and you will get a +1 rep, same as if you tipped a beggar a penny. Now, another thing to point out to increase your just farming speed, or killing speed, rather, is that you can, since we're not really using movement tech, you can switch to dual wield mode. And whenever you dual wield, you just attack so much. It doubles your damage. It is nuts. So, you know, you're gonna find Fallen Kingdom swords from the mobs here, and you want to save all of those so you can combine them all and beef them up. But also just use it to dual wield for now. It'll just make your farming faster. So once the percentage near the top of the minimap disappears, you can still grind here. You'll notice even though there's no longer that percent, the left bar will still continuously grow as I kill enemies. The thing is it won't grow nearly as fast. So just keep that in mind. You can still grind here as much as you want until you, well, beat the boss, that is. And we're about to go do that here in a little while, just because, you know, story purposes. But also because there's so many videos of people complaining about that boss fight and how hard it is. It's really easy. There's a trick to it, and I'll show you the trick. Man, you can see the yellow bar. It's not moving up nearly as intensely as it was. But yeah, you can keep grinding here. And just to show off, I've got 12 unspent points now, which I'm going to divvy up between stamina and HP. And so right now, let's go ahead and just do that. So stamina, this costs 2. Let's enhance it. There we go. And then HP, that costs 2. And now it wants 3 points. So I'm going to go ahead and back to stamina. And now it wants 3 points, okay? So that way we have level 4 stamina, level 4 health. And if I wanted, I could grind 2 more and then get level 5 stamina and level 5 health. But at level 5 level 4 HP, we're at 600, which is double of what we started the game with. But our stamina is at 200, which allows you to start doing the axiom force swings. So you can start, if you want, this costs 200 stamina, the aerial maneuver, where you can grab a building and then yoink yourself up to it if you want to. Like if aerial stab ever gets patched, I guess. I don't know why you would ever use this over aerial stab. There's aerial swing, which also costs 200 stamina, and this is where you do a wild swing and then you kind of just fly up in the air. But if it takes all your stamina, you don't really move around efficiently. Like the time it takes to do all this flippity-floopity stuff, you could just air stab your way right over there, no problem. Now, I will say one of the best areas for just lots of mob density is right here. So just like go to this little triangle and go to the bottom niche of the triangle, and I'll show you. Like, I've been looting a lot of bodies, but you can see there's just a giant stack of them, and they're all over the place. And they usually come in reinforcements of 3, so while you loot, like, you can just go in. And yeah, unfortunately in this part, though, there are bombers. And once you build that HP up, it's not really a problem after that. But yeah, they can do a lot of damage, and yeah, there's more bombers. But reinforcements will come from 3 different sides, so there's always enemies to fight, and there's always just a really big pack of enemies just waiting at this little. It's right here in the triangle. So just grind at the triangle basically. Anyway, I grinded here until my inventory is completely full, 99 item slots. So yeah, now it's time to go back to town and sell all this junk. And, hello game, let me click on you. What the hell? But yeah, there we go. Money and, level ups. Alright, so, what's more important if you don't have enough points for both stamina and health? In my opinion, stamina, because if you're holding block, yeah, you take chip damage, but you can heal through that pretty easily. Whereas stamina is, if you get drained of all of your stamina while blocking, like, say, a boss fight, then you take full damage. But also, stamina helps you get around faster, and if you have a lot of stamina, you can fly through the sky very long with your air stabs. So I'm going to put 3 more of our abyssal artifacts into stamina, and I can skip the cutscene because I don't care. And again, it's still another 3 to upgrade, so I'm probably going to push more stamina, and now our stamina is at 220. But we're going to do some more quests before advancing to Chapter 3, so I'm back in town. And we have the Troubled Count here, where we need to speak with the Erich at Blue Mountain Manor. This is also where we're going to get another earring. And this is also the lead up to that Quarry fight. So we're going to finally finish off the Quarry. And there's a better grind spot in Chapter 3 right before the final boss of Chapter 3. It spawns infinite minions, and you can just grind those, and they give more faster XP, but we like the boost to be able to breeze through Chapter 3 easily. Anyway, we're going to go inside now, and normally you're not allowed in here, but because we did the quest, they let us in, and we don't have to, like, break in or waste keys. Now, we're going to go to the top, and this is the guy we're supposed to talk to, is this dude right here, Leon Roberts, but we're going to go into this room instead. And you want to make a safety save, but we're going to be doing this strong box puzzle here. And oh man, it's so dark. I need this to be brighter for you guys. You can't see what I'm doing. All right, looks like I fixed the lighting issue. So this puzzle, we're going to have to push buttons and rotate different things. So each button rotates differently, and we need to make this owl picture. So if I push this 4th button, it rotates the 1st and the 4th. If I push the 3rd button, it rotates only the 3rd button. All right, now if I push the 2nd button, it rotates the middle 2. There we go, just like that. If I push the 1st button, it rotates the first 3. All right, so there we go. So what we need to do is rotate this one until the first picture and the last picture are showing up. And then we can manipulate this one. But the way we're going to do it is we need, because our left button rotates both. There we go. And now the third button will only rotate this one, allowing us to complete the picture. I hope that makes sense. This is something you should, it's a very basic puzzle. Now, we open this strong box, and you will need a mask because the box inside is considered stealing, so we're going to go ahead and just slap on a mask. There we go. Hold Alt, and sometimes it's weird. I know the lighting is really funky right now, but yeah, looting this thing is a pain in the ass. Well, I almost got it there. So, steal small box. There we go. Alright, so we just got the Oath of Darkness earring, and this one's okay. It's just defense and movement speed. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we have a second ear. My bad, my recording cut out for some reason. I don't know why it does that. But anyway, so Oath of Darkness, we don't have the ingredients to refine it, but it is just a +2 defense. I know there's a +5 defense necklace in a manor that gives you some stamina every 30 real-life minutes of time, and it sucks. We're not gonna use that. We're gonna use just any other necklace. It's just not worth it. Anyway, before proceeding back into the quest room, we need to wait out this crime timer. And I'm just going to take the mask off. There we go. Alright, awesome. And now we can proceed to talk to this guy. And he's going to give us the quest to go beat up the Quarry monster. Not really a monster, but the robot, whatever it is. Now, I don't know why the game doesn't automatically activate the quest, but go to Journal, go to Faction Quests, go to House Roberts, then go to Stolen Quarry. And again, we earn a mining knuckle drill, which we got from the mob drops, and a gold vein map, which will unveil all of the caves. And we already have the fast travel waypoint, and then here is where the boss is located. And this boss is insanely easy. I know the internet is just abuzz right now about it, like, oh, this fight's really hard, or oh, come back when you have lightning magic, or come back when you have the girl character unlocked. Spoilers. And then it's easy with ranged attacks. Use your bow. Now, you don't need to do any of that shit. There's a very simple strategy, and you're going to be using sword and board for it. As soon as the game lets me swap, make sure you are sword and shield. And if you have these stats, like, you're more than capable of doing it. But also, if you want to be safe, you can set your food. I'm going to go ahead and set it to clear soup. We have 84 of them, but you don't need this. I'm going to show you the easy strategy. Alright, so the strategy is very simple. All you have to do is wait until it tries to burrow, which it will make a yellow... There will be like a yellow light shimmering around it, and when it does that, you use your Blinding Light ability, which will stun it, and then you just use your Blinding Light finisher on it, and you just rinse and repeat that. Otherwise, you just hold block, backpedal, and sidestep. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that to you now. All right, and here we go. So I'm holding block. We're just gonna hold block and wait for him to burrow. He's not burrowing yet. We're not gonna attack him. We're gonna wait for him to do the burrow attack. Still not doing it. Wait for that yellow shimmer. Again, he's just doing regular attacks right now. All right, there he goes. He's burrowing. We're gonna Blinding Light, and then we're gonna do our combo. And that is all you have to do. And then you can hit him a few times extra. And now I'm gonna hold block, and I'm gonna rinse and repeat this strategy over and over. So again, he's just doing regular attacks right now. When he tries to go underground, we just stun him. So that he's going underground, and you can also just do regular attacks if you want. Like, you don't have to use the Blinding Light. And again, we're holding block. This is the easiest strategy. No one has made a video about this. It's so ridiculously easy. Think of it like a turn-based RPG. We're waiting for him to do his big attack. There it is. And now we just do this. And you can even do it twice if you want, but there's no need. See, he's already halfway dead, and he hasn't even hit us yet. I mean, he's dealt chip damage. What do you do, right? Like, this guy is a pushover. You don't have to have good timing. You can wait till he's underground to do it. But again, he's just gonna die. Like, here we go. Make sure you do your combo finisher there. And then you could actually do other combo. You could just hold right click. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Alright, we're waiting. Still waiting. Wait for that yellow bright light. There it is. Just holding right click. You can also stab him. I like to do lots of stab attacks. I'm just holding block. Very simple. Waiting for him to burrow. He's going to do a little run at you with the drills thing, whatever. Now he's doing a forward thrust. Barely hurts our stamina. Now he's burrowing. And again, we can sit here and stab him if we want. Just do a bunch of blood stabs. There we go. Holding block once again. He's got our stamina a little low, but that's okay. That's because we used the stamina attack. That's why we like to use a spirit-based attack. Alright, wait for him to burrow. And I'll show you how to even increase your DPS some more here with the next combo. It's pretty simple, right? Wait for him to burrow. Just wait for him to burrow. There it is. Now we're going to punch him into Blinding Light into combo. And that's going to deal even more damage. There we go. And then add on, you know, a big heavy attack there at the end. So, again, he has not landed an actual clean attack on us yet. He's just chipping us with block damage. Yeah, you could swing at him while he's doing these attacks, but you'll take chip damage, you'll get hit, he'll stun lock you, he'll pop you in the air, and here we go. And again, you don't have to have good timing. That's it, that's the fight. It's so simple. Oh, and because we grinded the Quarry down to 0%, we now have conquered the Quarry, which updates the map, so there you go. And now with that, we can continue the quest line, which is to speak with Eric, or Erich? Alright, this mini-game is insanely tedious, but here's the thing. You don't have to hook it perfectly, you just have to make sure that the hooks are touching, like both left and right sides of the hook are touching the rock, and then when you push W to raise it, then it will actually work. It's really wonky and kind of stupid, but you'll eventually get hooked on there. You don't have to like wait for it to stop swinging. Just smash it down onto it when both sides are touching it, push W, it should magnetically change. Now, if you're wondering what to do for this quest, the one I just showed you was like a side extra item, like a hidden item. But what you're supposed to do is get in this elevator and then crank your way slowly to the top, but that's stupid. So, you know the drill. Just fly up there with your aerial stabs. You have the stamina now, and you have, well, I think I overshot it a bit. But hey, let's see. Nope. Okay, well, it'll take a few tries. But once you're up here, you go through this door, and then there is like a little wheel and a control that you operate. And sometimes your character will get stuck and just not do anything. But anyway, I've already kind of got the thing lined up. And the easiest way to do it is, I don't know if I can get a mouse, here's a mouse, I don't know, yeah, here's my mouse cursor. Line up the dot of the gear with the box. That's the best way I can describe it. By the way, if you go into the Quarry, which you don't have to, you are attacked by like a little like explosive trap on the wall. Use your Axiom Force to grab it and that will kill it. And then grab the floating rock and put it right here down the hallway. And that will empower the area. So there you go. Oh, and I'm going to save you a lot of time here. So this little bismuth door is not something you can really open in Chapter 2. Because you're missing... I'm going to do it, not to spoil anything, but essentially the way this door works, okay, is you have... where is it? It's like it's where you force palm but through objects. Focused force palm. And it penetrates targets. So what you have to do is use that ability, which you can only learn through the story. I believe it's Chapter 4. I think it's I'm pretty sure it's Chapter 4 is whenever you get this. And then what you can do is there is a floating mechanical. You'll see it whenever you focus palm. You can see through the door. There's like a floating mechanical object on the other side of the door that you break, and that will vanish the door. Then you have another ability you also need, and I think it's Chapter 6. I forget. Mystical Storage. And you will grab some elemental pieces and a piece of a teleporter and store it in your cuckoo pot, okay? But there's no gear in here, there's no upgrades, there's nothing power-based. It's purely to help build the teleporter for later in the game. So you can leave that rock there, it'll reset back down over there, or this whole area resets, I'm not really sure. But there is absolutely nothing to do down here or nothing to get right now in Chapter 2. And just do note that you're not really supposed to clear this zone in Chapter 2 anyway. But we can return to town and get our Azurite and Bloodstones and engraved gold earring. Woo! Now, granted, the earrings are purely decorative. Like, we have a copper one and it does the exact same stuff, although it is one refinement higher than the gold. So when we if we were to refine the gold to tier 3, then it's going to still be health 0.2 every 1 second. It's no different at all. Now, me personally, I prefer the movement speed in 1 defense over the 2 defense, because movement speed is just so much nicer. But the thing is I don't want to equip it on this slot, so I'm going to have to unequip that one, and then put this one on, and there we go. So now, Oath of Darkness has served its purpose. Oh, by the way, don't forget to actually read the gold map, the gold vein map. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and acquire knowledge. There we go. Awesome. And that should put it on the map for us. Pretty sure it did. We got, let's see, this is the Horn Thief. Yeah, those are just the posters. Yeah, it looks like it consumed it properly. Alright, cool. Nice. And then we're going to use the Azurite from that quest reward to upgrade that engraved gold earring, giving it health regeneration. Now we have 2 health regenerating earrings. So, there we go. Pretty cool stuff. Back in town during the day, you can challenge these children to rock, paper, scissors. And it's luck if you win, and you only get to challenge them once, so make sure you make a safety save, and if you lose, you can load game. Now, the reason I say this is because this quest is time-gated. You need to beat these children 3 times to get a skill point. And if we look at the map, I did win this, but, hold on. You'll see here, it's time-gated that we can't play with them for another 23 hours. Ugh. Yikes. So, I want to talk about something controversial, not really controversial, but a lot of guide videos are they're all saying, go to the contribution shop in town, it's got the best gear, bro. Now, we've done every quest just about in Chapter 2. There's a few more bounties to do, but not a big deal. And if we come here to the shop, well, this gear sucks compared to what we have. Our leather mask is better than the plate helmet. Alright? The plate armor, it's not much better when refined, whoop-de-doo. And, again, the plate armor has no resistance. Again, you want to really be stat maxing here. The guard armor, it has movement speed and way less defense, okay? The guard cloak is okay. That's an okay thing to buy, but it's 19 points and we only have 12. So you really have to grind out your quests, alright? But the cloaks are the only really good thing here. Yeah, nothing else is worth buying. Oh, and by the way, gifting this guy items to get his rep to 100, there is no reason to do so. He gives you no discounts. He gives you nothing extra in the shop. Now, some shopkeepers will have extra things for sale in their inventory, but not this guy, so don't waste your coin bags on him at all. Alright, so before we wrap up the video, I want to give a few more tips, just to help you get more overpowered for the rest of the game. So, from Hernand, if you go northeast, all the way up here on the map where it says Tash Kalp, and I've been all over the map, I've been to every town, I have looked at everything, besides quest rewards or main story rewards, there's not a lot of overpowered, just random stuff you can just go loot in the higher level zones, sadly. They just set the game up where, like, it's not like Fallout, where you can just go get power armor and, like, the best gun in the game at the very start, if you know where to look. This, you have to do quests and advance the story to get those. But there are some okay things. Now, here in Tash Kalp, one item in particular is the this sword here. This is called the Peltry Sword, and while it may not look like much, this thing's only like 15 silver, but it has recovers resources on kill, and this heals you when you kill things, so it makes grinding and just AoE killing lots of bandits a breeze. You don't have to eat food anymore. Not that you really had to anyway once you learn the game, but this thing is really nice. It's better than the sword we're about to go get. And there's also a better bow in this area, but bows don't come online until way later. There's also one other place I want to show you in this town, and it is located right here in this town. And again, the fast travel is right here at the kind of top right side. And again, this town is right under the text Tash Kalp on the map. So right here, this is the high stakes gambling area. You already know what this is. You go in here and you sit down and you gamble, but you're going to need 300 silver to sit down. So you know the drill. You simply make a save, you sit down to gamble, and, you know, load game if you lose. Now, I haven't really found in the entire game. I have not found a point or a use to having lots of money. You just don't need that much money in this game, and as you just play through the main story, you get plenty of loot, plenty of items. You're not gonna be short items at all. Alright. But other than that, if you really want to explore everything and do everything in the game, my actual advice to you is to just do main story and ignore all side missions until Chapter 11, where you get a flying mount, and then you don't have to do air stabs to get around anymore. Like, if you want to go to this area, the Serpent Marsh, there's a lot of water to cross, and while you can do it with the air stabs, it's, like, there's a lot of hills and mountains here, and it's just a real pain in the ass. So, getting your flying mount super quick and early lets you explore pretty much most of the game. There's a few towns that are locked behind barriers, or you get sleep darted if you get near them kind of things. And you'll have to do side quests to get in and out of those. Like, there's an entire city that you can't get into without a teleporter. But yeah. And there's no way to go just get a flying mount at the start of the game. I have looked everywhere. I have used... I know this game's only been out for 48 hours as of this recording, but I'm using other tools and programs to basically scan and you know, learn the game as quick as possible for the sake of videos. But with that said, you can continue to do side quests. It's just, we're not going to get much from them. We've already got most of the value. I know that the starting town has a bunch of cool stuff, like a golden heavy shield and the Hawando ninja katana sword. They suck. They're not really good. The best items in this game at full upgrade, yeah, they're okay, but they're not like that much greater. What really makes you overpowered is what you socket into your weapons, okay? And your gear. And that doesn't even come out until, like, way later in the game where you get the really good stuff. Also, as of the making of this video, they have patched a few things. A patch just came out. You don't need lightning spells to mine bismuth anymore. You can just mine it like normal. I don't know why they chose to change that, because I kind of enjoy that mechanic. But I'm sure that's going to break some other stuff around in the game. But anyway, let's get now, or let's go to the final part of the video. And I know this video is over 2 hours long, but we are now going to go take on Hornsplitter, okay? And this is a very easy fight, but you want to make sure that you save before you go fight him. And you also want to make sure that when you're fighting him, you learn his technique. Alright, so let's go over how to beat Hornsplitter. You can just wail on him. You have such a high stat advantage over him. There's no real way to lose this. Also, you can just eat food if your health gets low. You have plenty of food, plenty of heals. But what you need to be doing is light attacking him so that he starts evading you, and you can absorb his evasion ability, alright? So again, just hold block, and then block his little attacks, and then just start left clicking on him. And you might have to eat some attacks, but you have riposte, so there we go. We didn't quite learn it, I don't think. We didn't absorb it that time. There is a patch to let you absorb that faster, but that's all you gotta do. Just left click, do regular attacks, let them wail on you, use a soup if you need to heal. You got, nearly 100 of them. Just spam left click so that he evades. Don't let him out of the battlefield, because then his AI will bug out. So try to get him back into the middle of the arena. You can see on the mini-map, the arena. Anyway, so keep left clicking, and then we're gonna, do some parries. There we go. So we learned it. Evasive roll. Once you learn it, then you can fight him the real way, okay? And the real way is as follows. You hold block whenever he's not currently attacking, like he's attacking right now. And you can block these, you can dodge roll them, it's whatever you want to do. They don't do a lot of stamina damage. This one, that one kind of does, but not really. So while he's not doing anything crazy, you just blind him. You just do that, and then you just attack with your special or your regular attacks. So in that case, he was already charging an attack, so it won't blind him, but in this case, just spam your blind, that's it. Just spam your little flash. And you'll see he got dazed there, and then you can attack him. Alright. And again, he doesn't hit very hard. Also, I'm not meaning to do that. I'm meaning to do this special. Alright, so we take the hit there, blind into... There we go. And that deals the most damage. He also doesn't evade it when you do that either. So, that's why we stick with our regular attacks first to learn the ability. There we go. Now he's just dead. And that's the fight. It's super easy, super simple. Alright, so that is the best possible start to Crimson Desert, okay? And I hope you enjoyed this video, and you know, if this video does good, I can make more guides, but right now, this game is way oversaturated with the creators. I did not get to get early access to this game, and so I don't have, you know, hundreds of hours of a head start over the other channels that did. And so, in that regard, I doubt that this video will do well at all. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of things. Will J. Powers decided he was going to ignore me on Twitter and wouldn't give me a key, and Pearl Abyss, through all of their emails and every other way to contact them, ignored me completely. So, yeah, that's a bummer, you know. And I just can't really compete with, you know, big corporate channels that hire editors and have teams of people working on videos, or extreme lunatic autists that got a whole month earlier before the game launched that played the entire game over and are cranking hundreds of videos a day out on their channels. But I hope you found this entertaining, that you found it useful, because I tried to pack it with info that no other channel put out, that no Twitter post, no website, no guide website has, you know, shown at all. There's a lot of really unique items in this game that no one has made a Reddit post on at all. Like, there's just a lot of things out there that no one has found yet, and I found them all, because I'm gonna be real. When I play through the game, I'm using cheat programs to, like, no clip and see where loot is and move insanely fast through the story. Yeah, so so that I could get all this information. You know, I have to catch up. You know, they've had the game for a month, and I didn't. But yeah, you know, so I don't get to play fair. But anyway, that's the video. And if this video does well, if this video does really well, I will absolutely make more videos for this game. As far as this game goes, I think it's okay. It's single player, though. I'm not really the biggest single player guy. But it's pretty, and it keeps my attention the whole day. You know, I started playing this at like 6 in the morning today after a 4-hour nap. And, you know, it's already nighttime again. So, yeah. You know, and I haven't even eaten yet or done anything else today. I have just sat here and played this and thrown my back out. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed. Now, here's the thing. I have no friends. I have no life, no family, no obligations at all. All I do is play video games. And that means all I also do is I just read YouTube comments. That's my life. That is my entire life. I know it's sad, but that means if you have any questions at all, you can ask them, and I will read your comment. And if the question isn't already answered in the video, then I will answer your question, okay? But other than that, let me know what you want to see next. And if this video pops off and explodes and becomes viral, then I'll make more videos on it, because, you know, it would be really cool to cover a game that I actually get views on for once. My channel is in the dumps. People think that, you know, my channel is dead because I'm putting out videos that barely get 1,000 views. It's because I'm playing games that either aren't out yet, or I'm playing games that just aren't popular, or that my audience doesn't care about. Like, I have a lot of subscribers on this channel, sure, but, you know, most of my subscribers aren't going to want to play this game. They're not going to want to play MOBAs. They want to play MMORPGs like World of Warcraft and stuff, unfortunately. And those games are just on their way out. So it's sad to see. I mean, gaming in general, we're in a gaming dark age. I don't know, man. It's real bad. But I hope you enjoyed. I know this character looks ridiculous with the stupid bunny helmet, but it's really the best helmet you can get in Chapter 2. You know, other than some plate helmet that sucks. But anyway, that's it. I'm sorry the video is so long, but hopefully you found it extremely useful. I know that you're going to learn something from this video over any other video or channel currently out. With that said, hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully this video does well. And if it doesn't, don't expect more. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. But the only thing I'm going to ask you to do for me, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, because I probably won't make more videos for this game. I'm not going to ask you to, you know, to leave a like even. But what I will ask you to do is click the video on the right side of your screen, because if you don't, you're going to have one of those days where you got to go take a dump, and then you do, and then as soon as you're done, you got to go back and finish dumping. All right? Yeah, you're going to have the squirties, okay?